Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with Lights, Camera, Wrestling, LCW. I am Oz the Alchemist.
And it's your girl, Lola Love.
So, to kick us off, how we normally start, how was your week?
It was great. It was great. Um, just got back to work last week. Last Thursday. Oh, short week. Just 2 days of working, which led up to a Friday. Um,
Which we will
which
thoroughly
was
get
amazing.
into.
Yeah, we would thoroughly get into that. But I'm not gonna lie. So I attended Friday Night SmackDown, and I was excited about it, but then like getting there, like the closer it got to the event happening, everything was just like getting real stressful. Um, Traffic was a bitch,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and yeah, and then I was in an Uber, and the guy really was trying to get there as fast as he could, but it was just crazy traffic just built up. I almost just got out of the car and just said, you know what, just let me out. I could just walk the rest of the way because I missed, I want to say about maybe 15 minutes of the beginning, which is still frustrating to me.
Yeah.
But I was able to get there. I was able to get there. I just had him. I did hop out at one point. I was about Target, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna miss any more of this. I'm just gonna hop out right here. And yeah, I was able to get there, and I didn't miss too much else of the show. So yeah.
Yeah, I had to have a whole conversation before the show started, and then that bled into the show. So we missed about the same amount. Um,
Like I missed it in person, but I was watching it on my phone in the car to make sure that I did not miss my tribal chief because I'm not gonna lie, if he came out first and I missed him, I was going to cry real tears in that Uber, and the man would have thought I was crazy. So thank you, tribal chief, for not coming out first and letting Punk come out first. I thought, thank God, it's gonna be a minute because you know he likes to ramble. So yeah.
okay. And I ain't got nothing new to report. Week was good. Yeah, nothing new to report. I was cool. Everything was smooth.
Mhm.
But I do want to introduce a new segment, just a little something that we got a recommendation to do. So I got a question for you. It's a true or false question, and all you gotta do is say true or false, obviously.
Okay.
So the first ever TLC match took place at WrestleMania 2000. True or false?
The first ever TLC match
Yeah,
took place when?
at WrestleMania 2000 or the WrestleMania 16.
True. No, wait.
False.
False. No,
False.
not WrestleMania 2000. It was at a WrestleMania, I believe. Hmm. Yeah, it was at a WrestleMania. I'm just trying to remember when.
It
I
wasn't at
know the opponent.
WrestleMania. It was at SummerSlam. The first one was at a SummerSlam, but then a bigger one happened at a WrestleMania.
It was at a SummerSlam. That's when Jeff had did the Swanton off of the ladders.
And
I
the
think the
first
people in that match were Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys.
yep, and the
Because
first one was the one at WrestleMania 2000 was a ladder match that just happened to have
yeah,
chairs and
the same
tables.
people. And that's when Edge speared Jeff
Yep.
um, from holding on to the titles. Yeah, man, good times, man. That there will never be any matches like that. I don't believe not of that caliber, not of that caliber. I really
Nah,
think that
cause I don't think they could be healthy enough to do that.
they used
Because
to go
obviously
hard back then.
Edge got changed by that match, or at least one of those matches.
Yeah,
So like, yeah, they
yeah, he
not.
did. He
Yeah, I
said
don't
it
think
was
they
the
gonna
first
go that hard
one,
no more. But
and I
it would be
love the
beautiful
fact
to
that
see.
they used like the fact that that match was even created because of them. Um, when it was first brought about, you know, the Hardys, their weapon of choice would be ladders. They're high flyers, and they like to, you know, they would do that even in the indie scene. Um, Edge and Christian, they're weapon of choice were the chairs. They used to do the chair toe. They're the ones that created that, and the dudleys with the tables. So for that specific type of match, and then years to come later, but for that match to be coined after the three of them is just amazing because there will be no TLC matches if not
without
for
them
those three iconic groups, and they put on a show,
every
like a
time.
show
Cause
every
I
time. Like it was scary how much what they would put their bodies through. Like,
and those are some
man,
of the few matches I would go back and watch. Like when I
oh yeah,
started on my wrestling journey and gotten to know that there were stuff in the past other than me reading about what happened, I would go and watch, and those were the ones that I was watching because obviously Jeff is in it, so I'm gonna watch it.
hmm
So yeah,
yeah,
those was great.
hmm
Okay, so let's get into the week. Let's get into
okay.
let's get into Raw. Um,
hmm
Not sure what happened in what order, but I do
Oh, I
know
know what
John
happened in
Cena.
that order. I know that John Cena was the first to come out, as he has been for the
Oh,
past
perfect. That's the
3
perfect thing.
weeks.
Let's talk about that.
So they kicked the show off, and what a show it was! They kicked it off with a bang. Right before that, I had recorded and posted a video on our TikTok page, just voicing a little bit of my frustration about the feud that's going up between Cody and John because nothing has been happening. Um, it's just been John addressing the fans and giving us his reason as to why he decided to say screw fans. And I get it. I definitely get it. But at the same time, John, you're not wrestling the fans at WrestleMania. You're wrestling Cody. And Cody was never addressed. And then I took it as, you know what, maybe he feels as though Cody isn't as important enough to address. To him, maybe Cody is just another wrestler that he has to beat to become a 17-time champion. That I kept thinking maybe it isn't personal with Cody. Maybe the issue is with the fans, and Cody was just a person because he's adorned by these fans. He's the person that he's going to take it out on. Like, okay, you love the fans, love you. All right, well, I'm just going to, nothing personal, but I can't fight the fans, so I'm going to fight you. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at it as that until Monday, and everything got addressed. And I believe that John again was going to address the fans, but before he could speak, Cody comes out. And after he came out, Cody decided that he was going to beat John to the punch. As far as, I know that this is the segment where you attempt to cook me and start, saying these things about me to belittle me and, whatever. So Cody decided to, poke fun at it and bring up his list and all other corny crap. Um, and John proceeded. I like the delivery in which he gave the Cody. It started out just, I'm not even going to stoop to your level. I'm just, you're irrelevant. Like it was that type of a tone. Like he told Cody that he has been protected, which makes
Which he
sense. I
has.
believe so as well. He has. Um, he said that he's not going to be the one to protect him anymore. And when he said, I am not going to cook you, Cody Rhodes, I'm going to bury you. Do you know the chills that came over me when he said that? Because it's like, I'm not going to treat you like any other opponent that I had. I'm not going to, poke jabs at you and stuff like that. I'm about to really speak some reality to you. And I'm going to, do what you think that you're going to do, but I'm going to put you in the ground because nobody really gave it to you straight yet. And everything that he said during that segment. And again, I like to try to speak facts. I don't want to be biased, even though everyone knows I love me from John Cena. But it was facts. And Cody has never been addressed in that way yet. It's always been, the whole making fun of I have to finish my story and that whole segment. John took it back some years as far as him even saying with Cody um hanging around him, back in the day and taking the things that John was saying and using it and stuff like that. So I want to say that nothing that he said was fabricated. Everything that he said hit home because it was real.
Yeah,
And there's a
because
part, go ahead.
no, go ahead. No, you finish. Cause this
There's
your
a part
segment and
that
your
he,
man is in it.
it's a part that he said, and it's weird because that's what he's great. He said that um, Cody is too polished, too rehearsed, too, I want to be their champion and all of those aspects. So when saying that, before the conversation happened, when Cody first came out, I'm looking at what he had on. And the first thing I said was, damn, that's a badass suit. That's nice. That's really nice. And like, I don't want to say like, I'm not going to say puppet, but because we've been in so routine when Cody comes out, you like him, you don't like him, you sing his song. And everybody's singing along or whatnot. And that's what happened. So when John said that Cody is like the Pied Piper, take away his interest music, take away, the type, all of that, and you're just this pinstripe suit. It's really nothing else. Take away all of that extra or whatnot that has all the fans, me included, distracted and fooled, which is crazy because I'm like, wow, that's the first thing that came to mind when he came out. I looked right at his suit. Man, that looks nice. He dressed nice. And you sing to his song, regardless of the issues that's going on and the feud that he's in right now. That's the first thing that comes to mind. It's like clockwork. And it just made sense that when John told him that somebody mediocre holding something meaningful is enough to trick the people. I felt, I don't want to say I felt like a fool, but it was like, man, this man is like reading my mind because it's freaking true.
Yeah,
Like, he said that Cody doesn't work like him. You're damn right he doesn't. If you really think about it, I mean, John was an alpha male. Roman was an alpha male. They are alpha males. I'm not saying that Cody isn't, but at the same time, I just feel like this top slot that he has, he depends on the chance of the fans. The Cody Rhodes, all of that. You rely on that. John can't rely on that. Roman couldn't rely on that because you're going to get
because they
fans that are going to
hated both
boo
of
you,
them.
even though they were good. They could be good guys. They were good guys in the beginning, and it's like they had to eat that up. They weren't protected from that. But with Cody, when the going got tough, and when you felt like, I just can't deal with this. I don't want to be this character, Stardust or whatever. What happened? You left. You left when it gets tough, and you had to go and reinvent yourself or whatever the case. But then you come back and you have a story. And I'm not gonna lie, when Cody came back, it was more so his story is what got him over. It was compelling. It was emotional. Man, his father wanted the title. He was never able to give it. Who doesn't love Dusty Rhodes? So automatically you're drawn in to feeling sorry that this man lost his dad. He's going for this title that his dad was never able to hold. He gotta win. He gotta get the title. He gotta do it for his dad. He gotta do it for his mom. He has to. It was that. He
Right,
gotta finish the story. It really wasn't the fact that you deserve it. It wasn't the fact that you earned it. It wasn't any of man. He's just wonderful in the ring. He did it. It wasn't that. Everybody, it was a sob story. And now that the story is over, the tears are dried. What's left? Like, this is why we
and
say it's a boring run
right because he
because
hasn't done anything noteworthy since he beat Roman.
yes,
Like
yes,
you fought AJ, and then after AJ, I literally can't remember the last person you fought until Kevin Owens.
wow, yeah, you're right. I want to say AJ Styles was probably the last opponent that made a feud interesting.
And that was only because
Because
of AJ. It wasn't
yeah,
because of
it was
Cody.
because of him. And I'm not even an AJ Styles fan. But I can respect what he does in the ring and what he brings to the table. And AJ pretty much carried that whole thing. The match was great because AJ pushed him to be it. You're not going to get in the ring with someone like AJ Styles and be sloppy. Not saying that Cody is sloppy, but you got to bring your A game. And because AJ always does that, you got to be sharp and you got to keep up. Then this is for your title. You're gonna do what you need to do to keep your title. But it's sad to say that all of Cody's feuds are being carried by his opponent.
Yeah,
That it's the opponent that makes the rivalry so interesting, not Cody Rhodes. The same with Cody and Roman. The Roman, the bloodline, The Rock made it interesting. It kept making it interesting. If they were not involved, it would have been it just sorry, boring. I mean, I like Cody. I think he's a stand-up guy. Um, I think he's good in the ring. But as far as right now for this main character, eh, I
look,
would rather see him go for something like the US or the Intercontinental right now. I feel like those titles back in the day used to solidify whether or not you're ready for
that's
the,
always
the,
been the
the
case.
title, for the big title. And you really gotta prove yourself. To me, those are the fighting belts. Those are the belts that you gotta scratch claw and when you get that title, you gotta dominate during that reign. Look at Braun Breaker. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So it's like you really gotta showcase that you can handle this. Cody, you came back and you just
went
hop
straight to it.
right in the mix. Went
So
straight to it.
so yeah,
So,
with all that being said, yeah, Cody Rhodes is basically a politician. That's all I see his character as. You're a politician. You kiss babies, you hug people, you try to get the fans on your side to inevitably screw them over because that's what that's all leading to. When he does his heel turn, that is going to be one of the greatest moments of his career because up until this point,
yep,
like John said, you are basically just a cobbled together character of all the other
exactly.
baby faces you have ever watched, including him.
Exactly.
So it's like
Exactly.
you're
And like
not
you
being
said, it's
real,
like,
and I can tell when anybody does that. Anybody who has like some politician esque type feel to him, I can always tell, and
hmm
that's exactly what I've been thinking Cody is. You're not this good guy that you keep saying that you are, because again, we've
yes,
seen you be a heel, and that is naturally what you are. You could be a good person in life, but like for these characters that you're trying to portray, you're naturally a heel, and that just works for some people. So
hmm
he needs to go ahead and just stop. And John needs to go ahead and take that title off him come WrestleMania. That's all I'm got to say about the situation. Because everybody's like, oh, Cody won that battle. No, he did not win this promo battle. He didn't.
anybody that says that
John
he won
buried
that
him like
battle,
he said he did.
John decimated Cody during that whole segment. I watched it over and over because I like to pick apart certain parts, and I would say that okay, Cody definitely threw a curveball when he brought up Vince McMahon, and he
Yeah,
said, you know, that I didn't see that coming. When he said, that I
you were
did
made by a man
when
that
you
we can't
picked,
even say his
you were
name
made.
anymore.
It was it was definitely a oh they going there. Okay, now we cook. Now we're getting somewhere. Now Cody, I'm starting to see a little backbone
And
that you have.
but then John killed him right after because he was like, "Yeah, I made an empire for
No, 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 no,
billionaires."
no, 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 not yet, not yet, not yet. Not before he even did that. He told him that you're not stating, and John said that, just like everyone else, your brain is filled with feces and not facts. And he's right. Everything that John was saying was a fact. He needs Cody to spit facts. You can't say that I was picked by Vince when Vince McMahon himself flew to your house, sir, to sign you. So we're not even gonna because John could have went there.
That's
That's what I'm
true.
saying. You're trying to get
That's
pop
true.
out of the crowd. Let's talk facts. And you're not talking facts or when I'm saying that I was picked by Vince. I actually was picked by the people because my first year here, Vince was about to fire John, no matter how good he was in the ring. John was not living in his truth. John was not being authentically himself. And that's why he can tell Cody that they can see through phony. And he told him that. He said, you're by my side for years. And I told you, you have to be authentic. He knows it from experience. Like he went through this. I remember that. I follow his career since the day he debuted. And when he did, like that first year, it was rough for John. We knew that he was good, but he wasn't memorable. I mean, you had the ones I saw potential in him then as a kid and was like, man, I like this guy. But he wasn't over with the fans. And it was like, okay, well, he's kind of, a forget me not a little bit. So it wasn't until he was backstage one night and Stephanie McMahon can attest to it because she's the one that spoke about this. That John was backstage rapping just with the guys goofing around, and Stephanie overheard, and she told him that this is what you need to bring to my father because she knew that, as well as he knew, he was on the verge of getting let go. And she was like, this is what you need to bring to the table. And he was like, this? Yes, because this is you. This is just you. The guys are like, yeah, he do this. We do this all the time. He just rap. And it was like, so just bring you. That's the easiest thing. You don't have to be a character. Be you. So it was like, okay, I'm just gonna be me, just tune it up a little bit and put a little extra on it, but just be me out there. And which is why he got over, I believe, with the fans because it was so different. Um, with Cody, like John said on Monday, it's pretty much like all of your wrestling heroes put together that Cody has watched them. He's watched your favorite cartoon superheroes, and he's coming out with the jacket like a cape and all of this type of stuff, and he's putting it all body into this one person, all the way down to his bleached blonde hair, like his father, because Cody, your hair is naturally dark. But again, and then when John said that you even go as far as to you get your wrestling gimmick tattooed for everyone to see it. Do you know how personal that is for him to even say that? I'm going to talk about you, the man. You. This is not this character you created, but you behind the character and everything you did to pretty much get over on these fans. He said, just because you think you stole the blueprint is you got the keys to the kingdom. And the fact that his song is called Kingdom makes it even more compelling. Like, John, this is far at best to me his best work on the mic. Because before, like when he did that with Roman, I thought that was extremely deep. When he cut that promo on Roman some years back, and he told him that I'm still here because you can't do your job. Okay, cool. But this one right here, it was blow after blow after blow. He went on to call him a nepo baby, a
And
narcissist.
then can we get to the part that I loved where he was like, I make billionaires empires and all you do is steal money from their kids.
The fact that he said that, I had to walk away. I had to walk away because I said, why, John? Why? Not you bringing in AEW into this. I know Tony Khan was over there, probably passed out, wherever he is, on the floor. Someone had to wake
Getting
him
them
up. Throw some
Twitter
water on him.
fingers ready.
Man down, called an ambulance because that was just wild. Like, I did not expect him to say that. And then Cody goes on to shoot the most lame line in WWE history. Hey, John. Um, out of the both of us, no, not the one he said he sold out to The Rock because that was trash. But to say that out of my time of being here, they never once challenged me. You can't wrestle.
And that's the weird thing about that one because it's like, why did that one get John? why was that one that John was like, okay, I got to swing on you? Like,
I don't. I think it was mostly a sign of disrespect. I believe because, and I'll say, John knows, like he said, Cody don't work like me. I'm the hardest worker here. Period. Like, talk about a blueprint. Um, and my accolades speak for himself. So for you to sit there and open your mouth to say something that you know for a fact, after I said speak fact, you still just pulling stuff out your ass like you're trying to shoot the dozen to crack jokes or whatever. That was obviously a trolling thing, even with the fans. Of course, they're going to say that John was at his best when he was saying it. Did the same thing with Roman. You're going to say that about somebody that you don't like, even though they knew that he is that. That's the same people do the same with LeBron James. But that's neither here or there. But it was just lame for Cody to say being the champ. It was just real lame for him to say, and the fact that he was um saying that he wasn't afraid to go toe to toe John on the mic. I would be because this is exactly why people don't want to. The fact that that man said that the first thing that, not the first, but the first couple lines John said about burying talent, that's what stood out to me. I don't bury talent. I am talent. I need to get that on the shirt. I need to get that on the shirt. I really love that because people have been hearing that for years. He buries talent. He buries talent. No, if you cannot stand toe to toe, you got to think about where John came. He came right in at the very peak, at literally the very start of the ruthless aggression era, and you're there with vet and legends like The Undertaker, like Triple H, and Kurt Angle, and Booker T,
You got to get
and
in where you
Guerrero.
fit in, and if you don't fit in, you got to get
Yes,
put out.
but my thing is, he was, I don't, not groomed, but he was a student of the game, and he watched, and he's in the ring with these guys, and he's backstage. So yeah, John is taking in all the knowledge, so he knows what hard work looks like. He knows how to put in the work because back then you couldn't afford to slack off because if you did, you up out of there. It was kill or be killed back then. Now, like John said, people are too protected, way too protected. They can't deal with somebody breaking it to you on the mic. They were heavy hitting back then. That's why John one of the greatest on the microphone because he was with some of the greatest to do it back there on the microphone. So Cody right now, I truly believe he's bitten off a little more than he can chew.
For sure.
Um, thank you for the rain. It was great. But
But
like
we're
John
going to we're
said,
going to be finding we're going to be going with another candidate.
yeah. my mother likes to say thank you for the coffee because it's time for you to just get out the way at this point. Like like John said, the last real champ is taken at home forever, and I truly understand what he means. If somebody didn't put their life into this business and made this title bigger than it was, and as you should. That's why when Cody said, "Don't act like you left this place better than what you found it." He did. Let's not go there because you're supposed to. It shouldn't be left the same. Cody, you should be saying thank you because if it wasn't for John
Okay.
C.
Okay.
paving the way with
So
the
I'm
fans
making that
today,
face, but that's to say he didn't leave it worse than he found it. But it wasn't him. It was we know who it was that made it worse because by the time he left, it wasn't what it was. But that's because of the guy that they can't name.
no, no, no. I mean, as far as if you think about, forget the behind the scenes
Uh,
part of it. As far as matches go, as far as um just stepping up to the plate, just showing what a champion is supposed to be. Yeah, John did
yeah,
it.
John did
He
that.
he
John,
did
John,
he did
John
a
definitely
lot.
did that.
Oh yeah. Like there's a reason why he's a 16-time world champion. There is a reason why. Even him being at the caliber that he was at and he went back to fight for the United States title and he did it with no complaints. That's why he's John Cena. So everything that Cody was saying, like you said, you're not saying anything factual because what can you say? There is no one that works harder than me. The last person that did that was Triple H. I'm sorry. That really worked himself all the way down. And I believe that Triple H did not have that injury and that heart attack or whatnot, he would still be wrestling to this day. So as far as that goes, John is the one person that didn't leave, which is why I can say there is no one better because other people have left, take a hiatus, they're gone for a year, all of that. No, John has been there consistently. He's given his life to that business. Cody, this is your first reign. So for you to be so arrogant, the way that you are, is preposterous to me. And the fans may not even look at it as him being arrogant. It's like, oh no, what do you mean? He's not going around a bit. Pay close attention. Pay close attention.
Okay. So yeah, I think we pulled enough of what we could out of that one. So
I
let's
believe so too. And the fact that Cody hit that weak ass move on him that he could have easily got out of, in which I believe still protected, because we still got to make the champ look good. We got to let him get the. I'm pretty sure they gave him a talk backstage to be like, John, please take it easy on him. Don't. Oh, I got it. Okay. Yeah. They knew we got to let Cody Cutter. Got to let him get it in because he got to look like the big man. Please stop it. Stop it. He needs to face reality. He really does. Because this is
okay.
irritating.
So after this, the next big thing that happened, Jimmy caught one hell of a beatdown, if I'm correct. And that's what
You
happened
know
this
what?
week.
You know
When
what?
when Jay got
Look at
they had their match and then Jay got handcuffed to the rope
Well, let's
or
talk about the match. Let's not see. You be trying to hurry up and just did the whole
hey
spiel.
look,
Let let's
I be
let's
trying
get
to
into
get
the
to
match
the
a
to
little
the
bit.
to the part that was interesting to me. I know the matches be matching, but like I want to get to the part that got me.
Yeah, but let's. I don't want to say dissect it all the way, not really, but let's give Jimmy his props. I mean, to be in there with someone of the caliber of Gunther, Jimmy definitely gave him some go. He did. He wasn't just being a rag doll for him. He was fighting back.
Yeah,
I didn't think when I saw him do that suplex on Gunther, I was like, oh, okay, Jimmy showing like you're not just gonna punk me or whatever. You might be strong, or you can be the ring general or whatever, but you do have the capability of being beaten because you've been beaten before. So I'm gonna fight back. I might not win, but I'm gonna fight back. So it was decent. But Gunther won. I saw that happening. Okay, cool. Him
obviously,
attacking him, saw that happening. Okay,
obviously.
cool. Then he retreated. What happened after the retreat and they were taking Jimmy out of the ring? I didn't see that. I didn't see any of that. I couldn't predict it. Um, didn't think that he was going to powerbomb security onto the stairs. Did not think he was going to handcuff Jay and everything else. I'm not gonna lie, that was definitely a hard segment for me to watch because I thought that Gunther was a complete psychopath and he deserves to be locked up.
Nope.
This is sick.
See,
He is
I
disgusting.
seen it coming after that slap. I saw he wasn't finna get away with that slap. I'm not
That's
finna
what I
let
thought
you
the
get away
match
with
was
that.
for. That's what I thought the match was for.
Nah.
All right, we can explain that because why would you do that? Like that was just, and then to handcuff him, bro. Like he beat him down, but then he like held him to some way and started beating on him. And Jay has to watch, and you know it was real, and Jay really felt it because they didn't bleep nothing out that Jay said. He just cussing him out. He's just going, oh, he every in the book right now. But when Gunther licked first, he rubbed his blood all over himself, and then he licked it. I said, "What type of sick man is he?"
Yes.
But then I
And
thought, Jay's Jay's winning.
this is
Jay's
how you
winning.
use blood. This is how you use blood and
Yeah,
brutality. Because AEW y'all do it too much and too often. People just be
yeah.
bleeding just to
I've
bleed on there. It's like
I've seen certain things with that. The only one that I found interesting, I believe, was with I think her name is Tony.
oh, that one was necessary. That was necessary. But
I respected that bloodshed. Every other time, it's kind of like, what is this, a gory horror movie? Like, what's up with all the freaking blood all the time? Like,
and
ew, disgusting.
it's normally John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, that's doing the dumbest things. Cause
But you
it's
got to think
like
about it. He's still a lunatic. Like he's still that. So it makes sense for that to be his thing. I guess he's supposed to be the new age Mick Foley. Ah, with all the bloodshed or whatever the crazy
basically,
stuff
I mean,
he does.
he be putting his
Yeah,
body through some stuff over there.
yeah, yeah. That was just a little bit too much about the last thing he put his body through.
You seen it? You seen the thing he got
It was
suplexed
disgusting.
on?
Yeah. And I'm just like, Dean, you do not have to go to these lengths to do that. You gonna try to kill yourself? You're not gonna have a back. You're not gonna have one. Like that's just ridiculous. That was just too much. And the fact that they sanctioned the match and said, okay, yeah, we can go along. Why? Like, are y'all that low in ratings that you guys have to stoop all the way down to that?
And the crazy
That was
thing
just
is, that was probably his idea
it probably was, but
because they
but
have to,
it,
because
it,
you
it
know they got to
depends on
consent
the
to what
upper
they
hand
gonna
to
do.
say no. Huh?
Because you know they got to consent to what gets done in the ring. So it's like that was probably his idea.
It probably was, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure they knew about it. Now look at it. Oh, just like a human pincushion. But
But
yes, Gunther went completely lunatic. It was outrageous.
this is what I
Oh
need out
man,
the
it was the
villains.
best.
This is why I like him. This is why I like Drew because they are brutal. Like you are going to be the villain. Do something. Hurt them. You're the villain, and you big as you are. Hurt them.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't run. Go fight them.
yeah. But what it was too far. That was still too far. That was just too far. Like too far. But you know how Jay gets when people touch his brother. And I feel like this was definitely necessary.
We got
This
2 weeks,
is
so this is the shot in the arm that
Jimmy.
this thing needed.
Jimmy literally talk about a brother's love. He sacrificed himself. Like legit, because you see that Gunther was still in the ring. You could have just stayed out the ring. You kept getting back in. He literally sacrificed himself for his brother because he knows with them being twins and you know how they are with each other, they both have done it for each other. The match I was just watching on YouTube, they put up the 4 hour bloodline entire storyline. So I think I'm in hour two right now. But the match that Jay had with Roman in the Hell in a Cell match.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I believe it was the I Quit match. And Jimmy came out there to save Jay. And in the midst of that, he gets put into guillotine
Yep.
by Roman. It's like they had no problem. They would sacrifice themselves for each other. And every time somebody does something wrong to the other one, it was on sight, like every time. And we've seen how Jay gets active when people harm Jimmy. So yeah, Gunther, go ahead and shine that title up because that's going home with main event Jay.
In the first title match of the night. Um, so you got anything for Penta and Braun Breaker? Because I honestly don't remember this match whatsoever.
I'm not gonna lie, I remember it, but then I don't remember it as much. Um, Not really, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of upset that I don't remember it because I love them both. I
And
love Ron Breaker.
I honestly
To
think that
me,
says
you
enough
say
about it.
you say that that AJ Styles can do no wrong. Ron Breaker can do no wrong to me.
Oh,
And Ron Breaker,
anybody named Steiner or connected to Scott Steiner for me can't do no wrong.
like he's amazing. I love to see him fight. I know that was a good match. Um, but I'm mad that I missed it. I'm trying to see if anyone. Wait, no, that was last week. Crap, I don't think anyone from the Judgment Day. Wait, was this the tag match?
Yeah, it was a tag match with Dom and Finn, and then Penta.
Okay, that's why I'm like, wait a minute. It wasn't a one-on-one. They had their one-on-one. And then there was an interference. Okay,
Yeah,
so yes, I do remember the match. I do remember the match. Good match. I remember the match. Um, I didn't know how I was gonna go with Finn and Dom, but apparently they were able to get on the same page with each other. Um,
which pissed
and
me
when they
off.
pushed Penta push Finn out of the way, and Dom pushed Penta, and then that's when Braun speared Penta accidentally, but they were able to get the win and win the match. And you saw he hit the cootie catcher, and it was over with. I told you cootie catcher works. He still got it, and they were able to, defeat them. But it was the behind the scenes segment, well, not behind the scenes, but backstage segment that kind of got me because Finn still this
Is a dummy.
arrogant that he has. And Dom just loves him. And Dom really just wants them all to be able to get along. But I'm glad that Liv Morgan, stay beside your man, stick beside him, is peeping it and calling it out. Like he didn't say we won. He's saying I won. Like I did it. He did it all by himself. Like Dom has nothing to do with it. Judgment
So
Day is breaking up soon, and I just
it's
don't
coming
know
at
how to get
WrestleMania.
there.
That's what I'm calling. It's gonna happen at WrestleMania because
You
there's
think
no other
so?
place for them to do it. Because I don't know if they're going to have Finn try to. No, because isn't it Finn said he's going to go and try to have a conversation with Adam Pierce, and
Exactly. And
then
he's gonna
Liv is
put
going to go
himself
talk, and then
exactly.
they both of them get put into a match with Braun and
Triple
Penta.
threat. Shred. No. What does Spencer have to do with it?
Penta has been trying to fight and get the title,
I thought that they already had that match, and that's why
but
they had the
because it
tag
got
match.
interfered with, I think they're
It
going to
just
put
got
those four in
interfered
it.
with. A a fatal four way. I don't want to see that.
That's I. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I feel like
It's either going to
they
be a
kind
triple
of
threat with Finn, Finn, Dominic, and Braun, or it's going to be a
I'm
four
cool
way.
with that. I don't want to see a four way. Penta, I know that, and I like Penta, but I'm so focused on what's next for the Judgment Day, and I'm not gonna lie, the Judgment Day have always been interesting to me. They have been, and right now with the implosion of the Judgment Day, and we're seeing them fall apart little by little. Finn doesn't even realize it, but we know that it's coming. Um, I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. What roles everyone is going to play. Obviously, Liv's going to be a big factor in that because she's the one that's peeping everything that Finn's doing. Um, I think it was uh Pat McAfee that called her. If you're a fan of the Beatles, then you know the reference when he called her Yoko. Yoko. Oh, hey, wait a minute now. She's not being a Yoko. Okay. She's sticking up for her man because Finn is being an a-hole right now.
That's true.
But I feel like this is all Finn's fault. And you know what? I'm sad to see them break up. I was just listening to their theme song last night and I was going nuts in the shower just listening to it. Like, man, I miss when Damien and Rhea and Finn and Dom when they were first together because they were such a dominant group. Like they
And see,
really, really were. They were definitely a force to be reckoned with. So to see them breaking up now, but then thinking about all the betrayals that happened, um, I don't feel bad for them.
no.
You
And
don't.
I came in on the tail end of them being great because I came in basically when Damien still had the briefcase. Rhea had her title. Um, and that was just it. And then Damien won his title. Rhea had her title. And then
Oh, you came in at the end. Oh, you had to see the
so I
beginning
gotta go
when
back and see
Damien,
them at their height. But
yes, when Damien won the money in the briefcase. This is before when Rhea was still wearing her hair slicked back and just wearing a sports bra to out to the arena. She wasn't into like the different outfits and stuff yet. Um, the beginning of them was amazing before she even got a title at all. This is when she was trying to get the title from Charlotte Flair and get the SmackDown Women's title around the time she won the Women's Royal Rumble. So their whole story is amazing to see. Sad to see him go.
I'm
But all
not.
good things must come to an end. That's because you weren't there for all the good times, all the
Because
wonderful,
I want
wonderful.
Dom. I want Dom to get his push, and I want Finn to get his push. I want Finn to get pushed into the world title argument, so that him and Jay, even though we know that it's probably going to be a losing effort, because Jay's going to probably have that title for just a little bit. Um,
Hmm.
but we know I want him to get pushed into the world title. I want Dominic. I feel like I'm saying Damien. I want Dominic to get pushed into the Intercontinental and win it at WrestleMania if
Hmm.
possible. You know, if he pulls an Eddie and he finds a way to cheat and get it, I will take that.
Oh, I'll be cool with that. I'll be completely fine with that. That that'd be cool. That'd be cool. I'm good with that.
So I want them to go on a trajectory because it's time for Dominic to get a title. It's time. He's earned it. He's put in work. It's clear.
Yeah, yeah. He it is. It is. It's time for him to get a title. I know they've been doing that before. He he's already a two-time NXT North American champion. I'm not sure which title they would have him go after because I think about back then they had so many different titles you had. Yeah, you had the Intercontinental, you had the United States, but they also had cruiserweights. They also, had European titles, and they have different titles. They're just over on NXT. So, excuse me. I don't know if they would um have him still compete for titles over there on that brand. Maybe just one more. I'm not sure because
No, he needs to go ahead and take the Intercontinental off Braun. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
yeah,
And then Braun
yeah.
needs to get
But
pushed
like you
into the
said,
world
it
title
needs
picture
to
too.
be not yet,
You don't think so?
not yet. Give him not yet,
So him and
not
Dominic
yet.
beef back and forth with the title for a little bit.
I'm cool with that just because I say that Braun is good in the ring. He is, but Braun needs to be able to rely on other things rather than just speed and strength. If you're going to get put into the world title picture, it's just the overall you with the big dogs right now. So how are you going to match up against the Roman Reigns? How are you going to match up against the Drew McIntyre? You have to be able to be versatile, not just
I want to
ring
say
work,
at least
but
overall on Raw,
also promos.
yeah, promos he does
Brian
need a
ain't
little bit
too
work.
on the mic because they go cook him. So it's like I think that he needs more of that. He shoots his little promos backstage, but they're real quick.
Yeah,
That he just goes on. The dogs are barking. Cool.
he needs to talk to Scott a little bit more and figure out how to get some promo work done.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
he
yeah,
needs to he needs to polish up on that. That's what because he's already over with the fans. He has the look, he has the strength, the moveset, but he just needs some polishing. That's
and
why I
like
say that
I'm saying,
he's
he don't need to be in the he don't need to win it immediately, but he needs to be in the picture. Like you don't have to you can be groomed into it. You ain't gotta be immediately into it. Like you can be like, I'm going for the title and then get your ass beat. Like that's fine. For me,
yeah,
it's
but I
development.
wouldn't but I wouldn't want someone think about who can I compare, and I really don't want to compare Braun Breaker, but I'm thinking of somebody of strength and all of those things. Okay, right back, somebody that's big, that was big like him. I
Okay.
don't. I'm just giving an example. I'm just
Okay.
giving that example.
Yeah.
Now I know that he's cringy, whatever, but I'm just giving an example of that type of look of a superstar. If you're getting put into, the world title picture, you don't expect stars like that to get put into it and they lose. You expect stars like Braun Breaker, like you did with the Intercontinental Championship, to get put in it, and you get it because he has all these qualities to just get it. It just makes sense for him to get it, but it's like he just needs, just some polishing work. So I wouldn't want. I'll be very upset if Braun ever went and they put him in the main title run and he don't win it. It's gonna be like, what? Did they cheat? Because that would be the only possible thing for me to think, like, okay, they hit him with something because the man matches up with Jacob as far as he get knocked down, he back up again. It's like, no, you really got to put this dog down because you're not just gonna beat him easy. So yeah,
Okay, that's fair
speaking of
enough.
things,
Um, anything about Logan Paul and AJ Styles? I know you don't like AJ Styles. I don't like Logan Paul, so I
here's the thing: I don't like AJ Styles, but I can respect AJ Styles. Not too much as far as what's going on with them right now. Nothing really stands out for me. What they've been doing, it's just been a bunch of back and. But the move that he put on him, I like that. That's one thing that I can say that I like about Logan Paul. People don't have to like him, but you can't deny that the man is good in the ring, and he's gonna come with something new. Because I don't even know, I've never seen that move ever.
a
The man just
polarizer.
creating
Yeah, no,
stuff
it's a
at this point, and it makes sense. I like the name of it. Goes with his name, and it's quick. And for him to not see
But the thing is, I
room
like it.
into this and hit it, cool.
I like it, but he can't do that move with everybody. That's the only thing about that move. It looks good, and it's really on the person he's hitting it on to make it look good. Because he can't hit that on everybody.
You don't know that.
Okay, let me paint you a picture. Is Solo finna take that? Solo finna get up and flip and then turn himself and take an EDT?
Hey, if Rikishi can take a flip when China clothesline, he can flip his body. Hey,
Honestly, you
so
know
it's
what?
like
That was probably a bad suggestion because Samoans just be wild with
they're
athleticism.
look at Jacob. They're crazy athletic, and so ain't no telling if you get because if you get into a match with somebody that you know does that, you got to know how to counter
That's true.
moves like that. Logan Paul is a high flyer, so Solo would have to learn how to duck and dodge, maneuver, do all that type of stuff. You got to. But yeah, I give it to Logan Paul on the ring work. I know that the match between those two, that's going to be a hell of a match. I believe a lot of people have been giving so many mixed reactions and mixed, emotions about WrestleMania coming up. Like the build up is boring, blah blah blah. I'm not mad at nothing. I'm really not. I feel like they're putting matches in, that they're filling up the cards for both nights that need to be filled. They're making sure we see everybody. Like I don't understand what all the complaints are about. Like I really don't get it. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see every single match. And this Logan Paul AJ Styles match, that is going to be a match because Logan is a newcomer. AJ is a vet. AJ is amazing in the ring. I'll give him that. And he got his high flying thing too. I can't wait to see that phenomenal forearm. I can't wait to see how Logan intercepts it. Because I believe in a way he gonna bring it to the table. You have to. So
You
it's
at
gonna be some
WrestleMania.
high flying. Yeah, you at WrestleMania. And one thing I can say about Logan Paul, when it comes to that grand stage, that man know how to put on the show, as well as AJ Styles. But for Logan to be new and he like, I want to try some new stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like for him to be a new guy, he's not afraid to be like, all right, AJ can put up idea. We gonna do this. We gonna fall into the announce table or something. And he cool. He's not afraid to do it. And that's what I like about him. That even though he's this, came from doing YouTube and podcasts, he might be a prick to some people. He's not. He's good in the ring. He's good in the ring. He's not afraid of the challenge, and that's what I like most about him. So I cannot wait to see that match. That's a match I'm anticipating on seeing.
Okay. Uh, obviously, I'm willing to see it because I know it's going to be dope and it's going to be
Hmm.
well done. I just don't like Logan Paul, but that aside, it's going to be a good match. Now, let's get to the second highlight of my night, which was the
Don't
main
get
event.
mad with Logan when
I'm gonna throw
don't
my
get
phone.
mad with
I
him.
throw my phone. I throw my phone. I'm gonna be at if it's WrestleMania
Oh,
night one, I'm going to be there. I'm gonna throw my phone. I'm gonna throw my phone.
no, don't do it. Do you know how funny that video gonna be? You gonna go viral. You gonna be recorded. You can just go toss it, and it just gonna pay. It just gonna be like that, like mid throw. Like, oh man,
Oh my god, I'd be so mad.
fan
But
gets fan gets upset, throws his phone
let's
mid WrestleMania. Oh
let,
man,
let's talk.
oh man,
Let's talk about the main event,
hilarious.
which was Io versus Rhea for the chance to fight Bianca at WrestleMania.
So at first I didn't know how to feel about it. For one, shout out to Bianca. I believe she did a wonderful job as being a referee. She was non-biased throughout the whole match. She
Throughout the
called
whole
it down
thing,
the middle, and she did. She didn't show
and she
favoritism. It was the fact that the two women overlooked the fact that regardless of her being whichever one of you's opponent at WrestleMania, right now in this moment she is of authority. It's her rules. She is the referee, and
and
they were trying to take advantage of it.
she let a lot of stuff slide because they slapped her at least
She
twice,
did.
twice before she did
She
what she did.
did. She did. But even when she was no, before the hitting started, even when they wouldn't break count and they're in the corner and she's calling and she gets to five and they still want to go and she has to pull them off. Bianca could have easily said, you know what, ring that bell, but she did it because whoever wins this is who I'm gonna face at WrestleMania. And she wanted to be like, okay, I know y'all got high emotions going on. I'm able to handle it. Cool. But they definitely took it too far. Rhea, I'm not gonna lie, as much as I love mommy, she was kind of irritating me a little
She's
bit,
showing her
and
age for real.
she was irritating me because it's like, come on, Rhea, like stop acting like a big baby. Like you're remember who you are. I really feel you know that title means everything to her. She already lost her family, then her man. So the title is the only thing that she's pretty much holding on to right now because she stays through friendships. Um, and I think that she's on a little crash out right now. She's at the crash out point. Um, because during that whole time, every time Bianca would count to two, and she's like going nuts, you think you can't talk to the ref. She's the ref,
And
like all crazy. You kicked her accidentally. She gets knocked out the ring. You hit the riptide on Io. Okay, do you remember that you knocked Bianca out by kicking her? So now you're upset that she's laid out. Like you did that. So
and I'm kind of thinking that they're trying to play. If they're playing any angle at all, they're playing the Rhea's a baby. Like she's the youngest out of all of them. So it's like if that's the angle they're going with, this is kind of a good angle because she's being a brat.
well, I'm going to say, and that the Queen called it. Charlotte, when after she won the Royal Rumble and she was supposed to pick who she wanted to face at WrestleMania, she told Rhea when she came out. I just watched that segment today as well. I wanted to rewatch it because I was getting a lot of Charlotte hate this morning. So I wanted to go back and watch the things of her
Oh, I
being
can't wait
back.
to talk about that.
Yeah. So yeah, so she's in the ring, she's dressing the fans, Rhea comes out, Rhea's like, you know what? Pick me. Um, because as you remember, last time we fought at WrestleMania, I beat you. Charlotte brings up that I beat you with the first one, all of that. But I'm gonna go to the other shows to see the other women, and I'll let you know next week. Tries to leave the ring, and then Rhea's in her face, and she's like pretty much begging for her to pick her. And she told her the way that you're jumping the gun and you're coming out here, I'm the Royal Rumble winner. I choose. The title holders don't choose who I get to face. And she told her that because Rhea mentioned that the only reason why Charlotte beat her the first time was because Rhea was a kid at the time. And then Charlotte reminded her that your antics, you're showing me right now by your actions that you coming out here while I'm trying to talk to the fans and saying, pick me, you're showing that you're still a freaking kid. So, in a way, at the time, I was just like, dang, Charlotte, what? But for that to have happened, and that was in what, February? And now we're pending here, and we're in April. For that to have happened then, and then it's showing now in Rhea's recent actions of how she's behaving herself, Charlotte was right. Rhea, you are acting like a child, right? Like a big baby, like and like you're throwing a tantrum. And the end of that match pretty much showed it because even though Io accidentally knocked Bianca out, I know that the slap from Rhea to Bianca was not an accident. I think that she realized, like, oh crap, I just hit the referee.
Yep.
Shouldn't have done that. That's she looked at the WrestleMania sign because I could be blowing my chances away. And then Bianca gets kicked by Io. And then Bianca called for a double disqualification. So as she should have. And I totally get it. I'm the ref. I'm
Cause,
not supposed to
cause
be
y'all
getting
not
beat
gonna
up.
keep
I'm not
beating
in
me
this
up.
match. Even though Io's was accidentally, it was mostly Rhea. And
Yeah.
it's like, Rhea, you can't think that's how you're going to get the title back. You got to get your mindset back together. And then she snapped and whooped on everyone. And then she left. And then she came back to not only hit Bianca with the riptide, but the riptide off of the top rope.
And how Bianca landed that was crazy. I'm just gonna say that.
Bianca is a wonderful athlete. Oh, she's a wonderful athlete. And this is why she is the EST because she knows how to sell.
That
And I'm
that
not going to say that the riptide doesn't hurt because I'm pretty sure that it does, especially coming off of. And I saw how they break the ring down and seeing that that mat is not thick and plushy like people
yeah.
think it is.
Yeah.
And it's not bouncy. That is a board.
Yeah.
They're really hurting themselves.
Yep.
So
But I'm saying how
the
she
ladies,
landed.
they put on it. Yeah, how she landed
That
was like, oh,
she ain't she yeah she ain't yeah. That's crazy.
you hush.
I know Tez was like, for real? Oh, on TV?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. When I first see it, I said,
You on national, on worldwide global TV. You just gonna okay?
The fact that she did it, all legs though, all legs. You didn't push yourself to do. You just all your legs just did the work. All right, Beyonce.
Oh
Go ahead. Now I see why Montez has you tattooed on him like 4 times.
man,
Her whole face, her face is on him. Like, come on now, come on now. Go ahead, girl. But yeah, the way they ended that, now I can honestly and just confidently say, I know you've been saying it and everyone has been saying it. Rhea's the heel, Rhea's the heel. Okay,
I've
well
been
this
saying it.
confirms
She's always been the heel. People just like her.
this confirms that Rhea is most definitely the heel. Like she beat both of them down. There's no telling what's gonna happen next. Well, we know what's gonna happen next. Triple threat. But I don't know because
We can
for
talk
Adam
about
Pearce to even make that match,
yeah, of course. Because
we
at this
thought
point
that
we have to because Bianca doesn't have an opponent because they both got disqualified. So now it's got to be a three-way, and it's
well,
always
she
going. It was
does
always
have
going
an
to be.
she does have an opponent. Io is still the champ.
That's
Rhea just wouldn't be in the match.
that's true.
He would have an
Okay,
opponent. It's
from
just
that
it's
from
just
that
Rhea screwed herself. Io, cool. Io, like I'm still the champ. Rhea, you screwed yourself pretty much. And I think that either, tomorrow night is going to get, addressed and everything, and it might turn into that triple threat because I know that's what she said before. I remember he said no. So that's why I say it's up in the air. I don't know if they're going to give it to us or if they're not. Like, if they're going to have their title match and Rhea interferes at WrestleMania. So there's no telling what's going to happen because he already said no, which is why he gave them the title match last week to determine who's going to face her. Because he could have just said, forget it, just all y'all through the triple threat, but he said no. So I don't know what's going to happen.
yeah. So I guess we gonna see because yeah, like you said, I forgot that whole part. Yeah, Io's still the champion. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be
Hmm.
Bianca and Io, but Rhea's gonna get in there somehow because
Yeah.
that just seems gonna be the theme of WrestleMania triple threats and whatnot. Because you know
Can
what?
you
Speaking of triple threats, let's get into SmackDown now. Because
can you
what?
can you see my notifications
No,
like when they come on the screen?
no.
Okay, I was just making sure.
But let's get into SmackDown and triple threats because it kicked off with Punk and of course I missed it, but you saw it at least on your phone. And I don't know what was said until the last part where Punk was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what the favorite is later." And I'm like, and that was me getting into the show. I'm gonna tell you what it is later. What? Why? But then we find out what it is later, so it was forgiven.
um, but yeah, kicking off from the show when it first came on, Punk comes out there. He pretty much is addressing Chicago and thanking everybody. Um, he was just on a high from the news of him main eventing WrestleMania. Him saying there was always a stream, taking everyone for sticking beside him and everything. He takes the camera from the cameraman and he starts recording everybody in the arena, which is real cool. And then Paul Heyman comes out, and this is something that I didn't know, which I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Paul Heyman comes out and he's like, just want to come talk to my best friend and everything. And again, congratulations, all of that, happy for you. But I need you to do me another favor. So CM Punk's like, another favor. Okay, we're just piling on favors. All right, what is it? And he asked him, what is the favor that I'm supposed to do for you? So that confirmed the whole time we're thinking that Paul knows what this favor is, but he's not telling Roman what the favor is. Paul is clueless. He doesn't even know. He didn't even know what the favor was supposed to be because CM Punk didn't even tell him. So it was like, wow, okay, like he doesn't even know what's going on. And then he proceeds to say, because Tribal Chief is pretty upset with me, and have you ever dealt with an angry Samoan before? So you gotta let me know so I can let him know. And then, when he gets here, and he proceeds to say, Punk was like, so he's not here. And then Paul's like, not yet. He said, well, when he gets here, Big Chief gets here, then I'll let you know. And that,
And
made sense. Like, okay, let's go together.
Punk keeps calling him that.
Big Chief.
He's being an asshole.
He really is. He really is. He really is. He is so Chicago. It's hilarious. Like, not tribal chief. He called them in the big chief. Like, I don't even take you serious. That to me is equivalent to LA Knight calling the Ulafala the Ufalaka.
Basically, because he mixing Big Dog and Tribal Chief together because he know he don't like
Yes.
Big
So it's
Dog.
like, you know how mad he got when he was like, "Thank you, my tribal chief." Like last week, he was like, the only tribal chief, the big dog, Roman face.
Because I be thinking about
What?
stuff Punk be saying. I'm like, that is so Chicago. Like that you be letting this he is the perfect representation of Chicago.
It just it's even funnier if people if they don't know the history of the very beginning of Roman, Seth, CM Punk, Shield, CM Punk, and the whole reason for the Shield coming into play because they were mercenaries for CM Punk. It's just hilarious because there's so much history between all three men. And the fact that those two men, two of the men out of the three used to be in a group, and those two men worked for that one man. That's wild. So that's why when he said that neither one of you could beat me without the other one's help, other people were like, what did he talk about, Punk? We just came back 2 years ago. Do you remember about 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago when they first were brought into the fold? So you gotta know your history when it comes to big feuds like this because that's why the fans that know are so invested, are so hyped, and it's so heartfelt, and it's like it's just hidden different because we watched it be created, fall down, unfold, surprise here, surprise there, person leaves, comebacks, all type of stuff. This is one of the biggest triple threat matches in history to me. And I woke up this morning thinking it. I really don't know why WWE is just always in my brain. But I woke up this morning and I was turning my heater off, and they clicked into my head all three of the participants in this match, and I said that they to me are equivalent to Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock. If they were involved, this match, as big as it is as big as if those three superstars were in a triple threat match. They're the top three right now. You have other top dogs. Drew was also one of those top dogs, but in this match, those three to me are compared to those three. You have your tribal chief that you know it's like everybody loves him and he comes out and he's like you get standing. That's The Rock. And then you have your person that likes to play the head games and that's that visionary and all that. That's Seth Rollins. That's stuff like Triple H. He's the game. And I know how to I could be a good guy, I could be a bad guy, I can crack jokes or whatnot, and I can be fast at the same time. And then you have your trash talking. I ain't scared of nobody. I'm not coming here to play around. I'm on business. That's Stone Cold. That is CM Punk. When CM Punk first came and I was really getting into him, I said, and he reminded me of Stone Cold. And I really like that about him. So those three are just, I don't want to say mirrors. They definitely have similarities.
Yeah,
But as
I
far as
think we talked about that
aura
before.
goes, yeah, as far as aura goes and the magnitude of just their stature, um, I compare them to those three. So this match is as big as that. And since we never got something like that, we're getting it here with these. And
And honestly,
man, I'm so
it's
invested.
crazy that those three are specifically headlining WrestleMania because it's like
Man,
y'all don't even have a title involved. It's just beef. This is and y'all are the hottest thing.
real life hatred and beef. It's so much personal. And we thought that last year's WrestleMania was huge. It could get no bigger than that. That was huge.
Man.
And then CM Punk and Seth Rollins, we thought, man, they feud is good or whatnot. And man, I don't want it to end. But like Seth said to Roman, just another chapter. Because ain't no ending. Now here goes another page. Coming from that whole segment, everything that happened that night was just wow. I know we'll get into that later because we got to go through the show. But Friday was lit. Definitely was lit. Being there was just a hell of an experience.
Oh,
Um,
definitely work that in when we talking about what we talking about. Definitely work in
yeah,
what the
man.
crowd was like. So all that. So after Punk did
Um,
what he did, we got into
yeah,
Ray
we
Phoenix
got
showing
it.
up.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I had just walked in during that part when Ray Fiennes was there, and I didn't even go to my seat. I stood on those stairs and watched him fight. Great competitor. Him and Penta, look out, look out,
And
because they taking over.
I'm wondering why they didn't put them on the same show. I mean, I know that
Nah.
Penta had to debut first so that he could, because Ray Phoenix was still under contract with AEW and whatever,
hmm
or at least non-compete clause. But I wonder why
hmm
they didn't put them together.
Why put them together and Penta is involved in a feud or whatever with Braun Breaker, right? It's kind of
That's
like
fair.
Penta came in and he's forging his own path. I know that they've been tagged, teams before and they're brothers, but I think that it's smart to have them, especially for fans that don't know them,
Yeah,
to forge your own path because now Penta has a following. He has, fans when he comes out during the zero fear and all of that. Like they're really following behind him. So now Ray Phoenix has to forge his own
that's true.
path within the company and get over with the fans and everything because I didn't know who he was. I'm not gonna
Because
lie.
I,
Hell, I didn't
I
even know
I
who.
know him from AEW, and I watched him and
Yeah.
Penta have one hell of a match with the Young Bucks. Like it was
hmm
phenomenal steel cage match. So I knew them from that. So I knew when he was coming, I'm like, why? That's why I'm saying like, why aren't they together? Because I've seen what they can do together. So that's why I'm like,
Right.
this is a little strange. But if you want to give them both like a build up of their own little legacies until you bring them together, then I'm cool.
hmm I think that's what they're doing. I believe that's what they're doing for sure. Yeah.
But it
Like
was a
having
good
them
match.
do their own thing.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
was,
definitely was a good match.
and they
Um.
snuck Nathan Frazier in there. That was interesting.
hmm hmm
Seeing if they ready to bring him up. So yeah, it might be about time because him and his tag team partner consistently be having problems. So yeah, it's about that time for them to get brung up. Um,
hmm
After that, it was LA Knight and Tama Tonga. Um,
Wow.
Personally, don't remember too much about this. I just know that LA Knight won. But Tama be doing his
Good
thing.
match.
He ain't
It
much
was a
like his
decent
brother.
match. Solo, oh hush. It was a good match, but Solo tries to interfere, and LA Knight was able to duck and dodge that and retain. Well, no, not retain. He's not the champion. Is he a champion? Yes, he is. Yeah, he was able to win the match and everything. Um, Seeing them in person, Tama definitely did. I would see his matches and I would watch it sometimes, but I was focused on his match on Friday, and he's really good in the ring. He got it. Uh, I enjoyed seeing him. Um, what happened after that? Oh,
Oh,
feedback.
no, that didn't happen next. It happened later, but
What happened?
what happened after
What
that?
happened after? I'm trying, and I was there. What the heck
Oh,
happened?
oh, it's definitely something. It's all what everybody been talking about. That's all anybody been talking about. What happened next?
No, no, wait. Did that happen next?
Yes, that's according to
What?
this.
What
According
I
to what
think
the
you're
order
talking.
is. Yes,
I
Tiffany
could have
Stratton.
sworn that happened after. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get into this. Yeah, let's
Yes,
go ahead and hit that.
please let me open this
I don't
because
know if I want to pull my arm because I'm very upset.
we've been saying for weeks that this needed a shot in the arm. That
hmm
Tiffany really wasn't doing much in the way of being on the mic. Tiffany wasn't really, she
hmm
didn't really have no presence. And it's been all Charlotte, and basically, like I've been saying, after Charlotte did what she did with the split screen interview, that I was basically a fan and I was pulling for her to win the title at WrestleMania because she just got the confidence behind it. So they have this whole conversation, and
hmm
Charlotte can't get a word in because Chicago is booing her, like they would, because everybody has been saying that Charlotte shouldn't have won. She shouldn't when she came back. She shouldn't have been the one to win it. And I was among those people that said it because you just got back. And I know that normally when somebody comes back from a huge injury, they do tend to win it, but it's normally because we want them to win it. Um, but she won it, so we have to go into this whole thing. Tiffany ain't really been pulling her weight in this because she's brand new, more or less, even though she's had her time in NXT. But she's
Mhm.
kind of brand new to this whole thing, so it's like you got to kind of give her some leeway. But yeah,
Mhm.
this had no bite to it, and then they have this promo battle, and Charlotte can't talk. Tiffany is able to talk, but I don't really feel she's saying anything of note or importance until we get to the end. And the end is wow because from what everybody's saying, from what all the blogs and stuff are saying, they definitely went off script because Tiffany didn't have to mention that she got divorced 3 times, and then Charlotte was like, "That's why Kaiser's in my DMs," and it's like, okay, this was crazy. Like I now had this been planned, and Tiffany said that, I'd be like, that was kind of cold. That was definitely kind of cold that you went there. But since it went off the rails the way it did, it's like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it now.
When it boils down to the match itself, I respect that they went off script. I feel like it was necessary
Yeah, it was
to go
needed.
off. It was definitely needed. I didn't think they was going to hit as hard as they did. That's what the crazy thing is. And to be completely honest, I'm just going to be completely honest. This is why I say people always say, "Hey, do you like the Bulls? You like the Bears? You like this?" Yeah, F Chicago and the teams. And this is why I didn't ask to be here. I could have been born in, China somewhere. I did not ask to be born here in Chicago, Illinois. And the fans here definitely annoying. I knew that back in the day when I would go to the show as a kid with my father, and they would boo my man John Cena. Why are you booing him? He's the champ. He's a good guy. Chicago fans suck.
You
Um,
only saying that because they booing your people.
no, it's not just that because I'm not even going to say that Charlotte is like my people. It was the fact that when you're really invested into something and you're like, you know what, because of how you just broke everything down of how their feud has been going, how it hasn't been getting any traction or whatever. It's kind of been a one-sided thing. I really, now that they're face to face, I wanted to hear what she had to say. Like, but they wouldn't shut up. And it's like, dude, like, would y'all be quiet? Because I really want to see what's gonna pan out between the two. Um, Also, I believe that she was going to address the fact that she was dressing just like Charlotte. Like, if
Okay,
that does not speak troll, if that does not speak like Charlotte said, Tiffany right now is a pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. And the fact that you know that you have been compared to Charlotte because you said that, and that has been bothering you that you have been compared to Charlotte. You don't make it any better coming out dressed just like Charlotte.
and
And
honestly,
then,
she did look better in Charlotte than what she got on. So just say
I mean, I'm going to give it to her in that or whatnot. Yeah, I'm just going to be completely honest. Does Charlotte have the best body in the world? No. Is Charlotte better than any woman that up in that ring? You goddamn right she is. So it's kind of like it boils down to that part of it because Tiffy, when I really look at her for a long time, she ain't too good to look at either. You're just a year younger than Charlotte is. So all these surgeries people be saying that Charlotte has and trying to come at her appearance, it's a matter of time before Tiffy starts aging as well. So let's not even go there because she's flat as a board. Her face looks tight, but she's decent in the ring. So you're about to face the greatest women's champion of all time, a 14-time women's champion. This is your first run. And like Charlotte said, you did not earn this. You didn't scratch and claw your way to this. You won via cash in by betraying your friend. That's how you won. By shrieking, acting like I got you, and you betrayed him. You did it, ran out the ring, you snuck. So stop. You snaked her. So it's like I don't look at that as you've earned it. You were working hard for weeks. You've been sitting there being Nia Jax lacking and getting yelled at, and then you cashed in on her. So it wasn't to me a fair fight because if it was, Nia would have towed you up. So it's like I'm not even. I can't respect that part of it. So I'm really confused on how now Tiffy's supposed to be a good guy and the fans are trying to like really rally behind her. And I don't understand what all the Charlotte hate comes from. Because it's like, why is it every time somebody in Triple H said this, when somebody is great and they're doing this, why are they looked at as being, why do they are they looked down on? Charlotte has every reason to be cocky. She's the female version of Roman when it comes to cockiness. I'm great. I'm the queen. I'm this. And you're right. I'm going to come out here and say it because who's going to take this throne from me? And it's like Charlotte had to leave due to injury. Yeah, everybody was probably upset that she lost. I really don't understand why. The woman was out with a knee injury, a life career threatening injury, and she fought her way back and earned her spot. She didn't just get put into the WrestleMania match. She won the Royal Rumble and she earned her spot and pretty much punched her ticket
And
to
I would
WrestleMania.
say that it's a matter of people know, or at least it's been said that backstage she kind of be playing politics and that she kind of be pushing for stuff that nobody really wants, and they just be giving it to her. So it's like she might have
But my thing
had
is,
it in her contract to win the Royal Rumble and come when she came back. So it's like,
but here's the thing I look at. I would never be upset at somebody that's great, that pushes for something or politics for it, and then they get it. They get it.
yeah,
Why?
that's true.
You didn't already pave the way to be able to get it. So when I look at people like my man that will come back and able to challenge for the title, like I mean, they was doing that even back then. When back in the day with Triple H and Rock and all of them, they could be out and they come back and what they do, they go right for the title. They're not going to anything but beneath them. They're not going for an IC
Right,
title.
because they
They're
got
not
it.
going for
Because
a tag
I get what
title.
you're saying. So like, if you got a track record of being great, you might as well go ahead and push for coming back and being great. So it makes sense.
That part.
But
The, but the
people don't
other
like
women do the
people
same thing.
like you were saying.
Look at
People
Rhea.
don't like people who are great.
But my thing is, look at Rhea. Same thing. Rhea's not going for anything less than her title. So it's like, no, that's my title. I know who I am. And because Charlotte has that track record, I'm the woman with the most titles in history. You damn right I'm gonna always get what I want and I'm gonna go for it. Because I'm the queen. Y'all trying to catch up to me. You may have the title, but my accolades you don't. And this is your first title run. Yeah, Tiffy, humble yourself, humble yourself a little bit. You ain't even been here a whole 2 years. So I'm gonna need her to chill out. And the fact that she decided to hit home because you were embarrassed, because she cooked you in a promo that you could have talked on when they did the split screen. It's not my fault that you weren't prepared for the queen. But you decided to try to hit personal, which to me was a huge low blow. And I think that's why Wade Barrett stepped in between them because I think he felt like Charlotte was gonna lay hands on her as she should. For you to bring up a personal thing about her crying on the Sherry Shepherd show, about her injury, about her marriage and her divorce. And for you to say that and bring that up, it's like she already said that was embarrassing enough for her and she was trying to keep that under wraps. And I get it because she still got to work with the man. Like he's still there. So it's like she's
That's why.
already
That's
dealing with
because
that.
I thought they were still married when they both came back.
I
I was like,
really, yeah,
so then they were like
because,
they're divorced. I'm
you
like,
know,
why are they on the same show?
it. Here's the thing, and Charlamagne and I talk about it, and this is what I truly believe. I believe that when Charlotte got injured, you know that she is like her father when it comes to wrestling. Charlotte gets injured and now she's out. And because she said she didn't know if she was going to come back, that it was a career threatening injury. She had to work hard every day to get herself back because it was a wrap. They said it was a wrap for her. So I think that played, it wasn't a, I don't love him, he doesn't love, it was more of a, she's in her head. She was going through that John Cena year that he went through when he went through his first divorce and he lost that match to The Rock. Every match after that, it was like he was losing, he was doing it, and it really took a toll on his personal life. And I believe that all of that, with her injury and being out away from her job and her career, and she's like, wait a minute, like I'm not going to be there for WrestleMania. I'm not going to be there for Survivor. Like that's man, a whole year. That's a long time in the wrestling world because it's so easily to be forgotten. The same way with any superstar. Randy also has said that before, being out for 2 years. Like you try to work your hardest to come back, but when you put your all into this company and you become one of the greats, and now you're sidelined with an injury that's that big, like a knee injury or a neck injury or spinal injury, that is like detrimental to your career, and you really feel like so low and in the dumps because you're like, this is all I know. What am I supposed to do if I can't wrestle, if I can't compete? I live and I breathe this business, and I believe that that took a toll on her marriage because he was still able to go to work. Of course, there's going to be some issues. You at home, you got to watch your man on TV living a dream, and you like, that's supposed to be me on that screen. But I got to sit here and be in rehab, or I got to sit at home and watch him. And I want to be the devoted and cheerful wife because she showed up at last year's Royal Rumble. And she was out, but she was backstage when he competed. He came back there and they were still, and I was like, okay, that's why I was like, okay, they still together. But I believe it boiled down to that. And I say that because her birthday just passed the other day and he had a nice little post for her. He called her an amazing woman. So that's how I know that it wasn't lack of love. I believe it was her injury. It was her being in her head. She was depressed. It was going through all of that and it took a toll on her marriage. And some people don't know how to deal with that. Like she probably was too in her head and she didn't want to take it all out on him. They probably had arguments, but she like, you know what, it's really my issue and I don't want to make you feel this way. I don't want you to resent me. I don't want this to happen. So she said she filed for the divorce. It's not like he did. It's not like I said, it was any lack of feelings for each other, but she was going through it. So for Tiffy to bring that up, for Tiffy to bring up her drinking, talking about you was drinking at your daddy's basement and everything, that to me hit the same way and I'm trying to remember who did that. I think it was Sasha. I'm not sure when they brought up her brother's suicide.
I think I think
Was it Bailey?
I want to
No, it
say
wasn't
Paige did
Bailey.
that.
It was Paige.
But
And you
watch
saw
that
how
word,
she
watch that word, because YouTube be weird about saying stuff like
uh
so
but
yeah.
her brother's passing.
Uh-huh.
When that was brought up and Charlotte went off the rails. So when Tiffy brought up the whole that she's going to be alone after WrestleMania and that what is she, uh 0-3 in divorces, and Charlotte was walking up on her, you saw Wade step in and was like,
Oh
because he
yeah,
knew
he was like,
he it's finna get real, and you keep. That's why Tiffy knew to get your butt up out that ring. Because Charlotte was finna lay hands all over you, and you was definitely about to see a different side. It wasn't gonna be no wrestling. She was finna whoop you, and she
it was
decided to go ahead and hit you with the.
it was gonna
But
be
though you can
a
say it all,
Naomi and Cameron.
man. And I'm not gonna lie, Tiffy knows she felt away when she said that's why Kai's being her DMs, and everybody don't want to say, oh yeah, right, like she like really does. One thing I can say about Charlotte, Charlotte is going to fit facts as well. And she's going to hit below the belt with a fact. I do believe he probably did hop on her DM before. It's Charlotte Flair. Everybody else could be looking at it like, oh, she looked like this. Come on now. Tiffy ain't all that either. Let's be completely honest. Tiffy looks good when she got that makeup on. But if I look at her and she turns around, it's like, eh, yeah. So ain't no telling.
I ain't gonna speak
Ain't
on
no
that one.
telling. I don't put anything past no man when it comes to a woman's looks because
All of this is alleged. You got to say all of this is alleged.
alleged my behind. Alleged my behind.
So that's
Because that that segment was wild. Being there and hearing it, when I tell you the reactions from myself and all the fans that were there, everybody was in shock. The people that were in my section and they were saying that they was like, I don't think they supposed to be saying. Like, I think that this is just going completely left. And everybody was like, dang, like, wait, hold on. Like, what is happening right now? The way she got up out that ring and Charlotte was still standing there, you can tell, like, yeah, none of this was scripted. Tiffy came out there with the vengeance. Tiffy came out there like, I'm about to hit you where it hurt.
and
Uh,
even with this, I still think Charlotte won. I think Charlotte still
well,
won.
this,
I know Tiffany threw that haymaker, but it's like Charlotte's still winning overall.
thank you. Charlotte's the win overall because of her accolades, period. And I'm sorry. Tiffy, she baked you in that last promo with that split screen. I have no choice but to keep thinking when I see you with that title. You won it via cash. You didn't earn it like you keep saying, and you're walking around like I feel like that was shoved down. Her saying that every week, her always depending on it's Tiffy time, that whole thing. Come with something different. You got a different opponent, so you should be able to hit with something different. I'm tired of hearing it all the time. It's very much annoying, and that's why Charlotte was placating into the fact that she was like, she was making fun of Tiffany's voice because it's so squeaky, and sometimes it can be a little annoying. Like, uh, oh, and then she told the fans that them booing, she said, this is power. And she's right.
That's what I'm
Charlotte
saying.
is a
It's like
vet.
Charlotte is still
Them,
winning this. Like it's crazy that she's literally
yeah,
still winning. Even if Tiffany threw the haymaker that she threw, cool, you threw that. You're still losing. You're
yeah,
still losing in the points
yeah,
because every round Charlotte has been whooping your ass.
yeah, yeah. Because even though she threw that, this was pretty much to me a side of a sign of desperation. This is your last card to place with like, oh, I'm gonna hit here. I'm gonna say this. This will get a quiet. Yeah, Tiffy. But when that match happened, I hope you've been in the ring practicing. Because I said this, but I've been saying all morning to anybody that has been trying to bash Charlotte. Say what you want. Numbers and accolades and title reigns do not lie. Everybody keeps saying that, oh, well, Ric Flair is the reason why we not about to do that. Because he's not.
Cause she's
Because
good.
Charlotte
She
even
is that
picked
good.
him. Thank you.
She's
That's why
that
I'm like,
good.
have you watched her matches? It's not like she's botching. And then they
And
saying how she
it's
still
not
wins.
like she's terrible and then she's getting all these opportunities. No, she's that good. She is good. So she's
I have
winning
never
because she's
seen
winning. Now, could it be a
a
little bit
woman.
of nepotism? Could it be a little bit? It always could be. Like with Cody, like with Randy, like with anybody that has a generational name behind them. It could be a little bit of nepotism, but your talent is always going to get you where it needs to be. Because if you look at everybody else who has been in this business that has a name behind them, look at how many have flourished and look how many have failed. And there's been a lot more that failed than
Thank you.
flourished.
Thank you. So it's like we're not even about to try to make it seem like that's why she played into it and saying number one Nepo baby, even though she know that she's not. But it's like if you want to sit there and that's what you make you feel good, make you sleep better at night, go ahead and say it. But like she said or whatnot, I'm the queen. I'm the queen. I didn't just pick up a crown and just say that. I've proven it time and time and time again. If you watch her matches and her reigns, she even sent her father away. So there's no confusion. This is my time of reign, my work that I'm putting in. It's not my daddy up there doing that. She's not doing the same move set that her father's doing besides that figure eight. Like, Charlotte is in a wonderful competitor. The match between her and Rhea Ripley, their second match at WrestleMania 39, is one of the best women matches. To me, if not the best women's match I've ever seen in my life, because they both brought it to the table. It was long. It was, oh man. I have no complaints. They both bought it, and no one carried the other. They both brought what they needed to bring to the table. Like Charlotte is who Charlotte is because Charlotte has put in the work. I don't know another superstar besides Rhea and Bianca. It's like Charlotte's here. They're like right there that has put in as much work as Charlotte. Um, and like I said, you just can't take that away from her. You can't. Tiffy is definitely, I don't want to say a carbon copy, but there are a lot of similarities, and there's a reason why they want to keep trying to compare Tiffy to Charlotte, but there is no comparison. There will never be a comparison. You cannot compare a, sorry, Tiffy, one hit wonder to someone that has ruled the women's division for years. So they really need to chill out with all of that. I believe that they just love to hate on greatness, and that's cool. But as far as nepotism goes, I
Nah.
don't look at that with. I think that has nothing to do with Ric Flair. I think it's due to her having the ranking that she has. So yes, she might be able to get some pull because she's put in that work the same way as you should. I wouldn't expect a rookie to get the same opportunities that she gets. Hell no. The same with a John Cena, a Roman Reigns. Y'all put in the work. So yeah, I would think that you would get the things that you want because you helped build this.
Yeah,
So I think that has nothing to do with that. The same with Randy, the same with The Rock. They all forged their own path
that's true.
away from their fathers before them and their bloodline members before them. Roman is nothing like Sika. The Rock is nothing like Rocky Johnson. Randy is nothing like his father. They're their own people. They're their own person. Like they might, if anything, they're greater than their parents, and they are. Charlotte is the female version of her father. And because she's a woman and she done all of this, it makes it even greater. Like it's not Ric Flair's son, it's his daughter that has said, "My father's a 16-time champ and he's had the most title reigns. Guess what? I'm a woman and I've had the most title reigns." So it's like stop playing with her. It's just when it comes down to it, Charlotte just to me is the greatest to ever step foot in that ring. Um, and hopefully somebody comes along to take that away, but I don't think that's going to be anytime soon.
Nope, not
Um,
anytime soon.
yeah, not bringing it like she brings it. That's why I say crack jokes on her appearance, her surgeries, whatever. It all boils down to when that bell rings. That's it. I've never seen a woman get in that ring and not give a damn about her makeup. Her eyelashes came completely off. Her hair is all over. Her tracks is coming out. She don't care. She's fighting, and I love to see it. So Tiffy, be prepared because you about to get your ass whooped.
Fair enough. So
Hmm.
after that, we had the Motor City Machine Guns versus
Where's your pit?
DIY. I hate that song so much. I hate it so much.
Oh, I
Um,
was singing it
I
one time just for you.
I didn't I don't remember why I don't remember the match. I can't remember what I was doing. I was probably cooking or something, but I don't
You
remember the
know what? What
match.
you was cooking? Noodles.
No, I was actually no, it
No, you can cook.
might have been salmon or chicken or something and some cabbage and some other stuff. But I digress. I don't really remember the match. So if you got anything you want to speak on about it, because I
I can
know
give you.
that DIY lost, but and I'm not really too gung ho to see the Motor City Machine Guns go up against Street Profits. I kind of want to
I
see
know.
Tommaso and uh
Yeah,
Gargano
yeah.
go against them, but
I would have loved to see it too. I would have loved to see it too. Um, especially with, I don't think they didn't get their rematch clause.
they play loose with that. So it
I don't like that they do that. I don't like that they do it just because it's like if that's in the contract, they're supposed to get it to go ahead and give it to them. Like you said, I enjoyed the Motor City Machine Guns. I think they're a great team and everything, but I was never a big fan of DIY. I started to become a fan after Johnny turned on them, and I was like, okay, they're kind of decent, but to finally see them in person and see them wrestle, hell of a team, hell of a team. They're just in sync with each other. They're great in that ring with each other. Both teams are amazing. That was a good match. I'll give it to them. That was a really, really good match. Um, I thought DIY was going to get it, but I knew that they were going to get it to the Motor City Machine Guns just because they're pretty much screwed in the past already, and they were old. They've been waiting patiently. I give them that. They've been waiting to have other teams, Pretty Deadly, all these other teams go up and compete for, and they just been sitting in the wings, just waiting their turn to go back to get the titles that I'll say that DIY stole from them. So to see them come back full circle is cool. It's just like you said, in the past as far as who is going to be the bad guy in this whole situation because Street Profits aren't good, but they're not bad. Right now, they're neutral. And it's kind of like with them holding them titles, they ain't letting go no time soon. And they better not lose them at
at all.
WrestleMania because it just will not make sense. They better not. They better hold these for a while because they have not had them in years. Years.
And they
And they've been
earned
putting
them.
in work. They've earned them. They haven't been
And it feels like they
complaining.
even rebranded
None of that.
themselves just a slight bit. Like
And
they
they did. They
cause
did.
and
When
this
they was with
this
Bobby Lashley, that's when they did it.
and this monstrous thing of them being there, like
Hmm.
they're menacing. It's like
Hmm.
they're not fun, they're not happy, they're menacing. That's what I
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, I love that because they're still Montez there, and they were still like playing with the crowd and dancing and all of that. Like, yeah, they're still fun, you know, to see, but they ain't playing no games. It's not all fun and games anymore. They did a complete 360. They're focused now, and now that they got them belts, they are not letting them go no time soon.
Okay.
So
So after
that's what it
that, we had somebody who was a part of their team for a little bit show up. B-Fab
is.
and Naomi had a match. But
Oh gosh.
before that,
So
I called it. I told you that it was gonna happen. I said that at a certain
you
point,
did, but I didn't think it was gonna happen that fast. I'm not
everybody,
even gonna lie. I didn't even know who it was. Like to be there and see it. Um. So my seat, I was on the left side of the entrance. So I see Naomi come out. I'm like, okay. I thought Naomi was gonna have new music. But I said, okay, it's still Naomi, and I caught it. I caught it perfectly. Like I was looking at her entrance, her Titantron, and I went right to where she was, and she's standing there and flop. I'm not gonna lie, I thought a crazy fan came out there because it was dark and like hit her. And I'm like, hey, what nope. It is Jade Cargill, and she was putting boots all up in Naomi. And security came out, and she was whooping on the security. Whooping on the security. They drug her out of there. Naomi proceeds to get in the ring, has a match with B-Fab. B-Fab, I give it to her. Good match. She did good.
B-Fab
I
has
didn't think she
gotten
was going to be that good.
incredibly
She
better.
has fast too. Fast too. Whoever she's been training with, keep it up because she's been doing amazing.
And
She did really, really well.
shout out to Naomi for this new finisher she got. I love it. It's like a
Hmm.
modified code breaker. I love it.
Hmm.
And they need to go ahead and put that in the game expeditiously. So that way I
I
can
like
go
his
and
look
actually buy the
too.
game.
I love the look. I love the look that she has, the whole caution thing, the wild hair. Um, my hair.
This is the best that she's ever looked. This is the best she's ever
This is.
looked.
This is.
Because
She has the
the
wild hair. My hair is
Funkadactyls,
the
I was
same.
like
It's real cool.
the Funkadactyls, I was like, eh. Then she came back with the neon. I was like, no. But this, I like this.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I liked her when
Jay
she
be looking
first
like
came out with
Jay.
the glow. Yeah, and she came out again,
And
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 Bicycle kicked her down.
and then
Security came out and saved. Speed up security again. Like, man, I'm just glad that they are getting a match.
yes, I said it was
I'm
gonna happen. Did I not?
so glad.
I said it
You
was gonna
did.
happen.
I'm so glad. Because he came out, I didn't know what was going to happen. And I'm just like, okay. I thought everybody in my section kept chanting that they wanted the match to happen in the cage,
It
which I would
has
have been
to.
cool with. That would have been cold. That would have been cold. They were like, cage match, cage match. But the fact that Jade is getting her 101, even though I know she had a WrestleMania match last year with her, Bianca, and Naomi against Damage Control, it's cool to see that Bianca's going for this title thing. Cool. But to see Naomi and Jay have a match 1-on-1, showcasing, is great to see. There has not been a non-title women's match at WrestleMania ever since Tori Wilson and Candice Michelle had their match at WrestleMania in their Playboy evening out match.
First of all,
There has not been
let me
one
just say,
since.
yo, encyclopedic knowledge is insane. Cause I would have not, I would not have known that whatsoever.
Yeah, man. I don't know why. It's like they kind of clicked in my head when they said, I'm like, man, what is match? I'm telling you, I wake up, brain is just like that. It's just like that. Like, man. But it's real cool to see and to know that that's what's going on. Like they both deserve it, they both earn it. It's going to be a hell of a match because we keep seeing cheap shots, hit from behind, all of that. So now you got to be face to face, and everybody keeps talking about Jade. And yeah, Jade is a beast, but do not forget that Naomi is a jet, and she gonna bring it. So I cannot wait to see because she's this. I don't want to say devious person now. We're gonna see a different side to Naomi. But I truly believe that this match should be no disqualification. But I know
Let's
there's not they're not going to do it.
let's
But
because I was gonna get into that, but I kind of want to hold it before like the week before we go to Mania. So it's like I want to kind of hold off on saying what do we think should happen at WrestleMania. So I want to hold off on that.
hmm
But you're not wrong because I that's where I was going with it. It needs to.
wait, what you want to hold on to what?
I want to hold off on talking about what we think the matches should be at WrestleMania as far as like what should be stipulations and all that stuff because I know we're getting what is going to be at WrestleMania, but like I want to hold off on
Mhm.
talking about what their match specifically should be at WrestleMania. So after that, we got Kevin Owens and his sad goodbye because
Um,
from what I read, he might be out for 3 to 5 years.
do you know how? Okay, so again, this is why I think they say that being there is so different. As you know, and everyone else that watches, yes, I can be very emotional. I'm an emotional gangster. That's just how I am. But when he first came out, of course, everybody's booing, whatever. Before he came out, Nick Aldis gets in the ring and he proceeds to say that this is why they tell people don't try this at home because these moves, can harm you. They're professionals, everything like that. He says, but I'm going to bring out someone that can talk about it a little better. And he introduced Kevin Owens. I don't think that the crowd really listened to what he said. I did,
He didn't.
and
They didn't because I didn't.
yeah, like two people in my row did. I don't think everyone else did. And when he said that, I said, "Oh, damn." I'm thinking, me and the girl next to me, did the kid get injured? Like, if something just happened on the news, something. And then when Kevin Owens comes out, I said, please don't tell me that he's injured. Please don't tell me he's injured. Like, this can't be happening right now. And when he came out, and I knew that it was something, um, by the look on his face, and when he started to thank everybody and thanking the fans and he has to go get this surgery, it's like everybody got quiet.
Yeah,
And just people got emotional because it's like, what? I'm thinking like, no, this is not part of the storyline. This is equivalent to when Roman came out and told everyone that he had cancer.
yeah,
Like, this is real. Like he got to go get surgery. And when he talked about the last couple of months, I said, well, Kevin really hasn't had any matches besides the one with him and Sami Zayn. Um,
no, no. He's had his matches because remember it was him and Cody, him and Sami Zayn.
but
Any
him and
match.
Cody's match was before that. I'm talking about his last big match
Oh yeah, his
was the
last big
one
match
with
was
him
with
and Sami.
Sami
That was
Zayn.
his last match. Yeah. So he said the last 4 months. So in that time, like his last match was the one with Sammy, and I kept thinking about my brain kept paying into how he maneuvered in the match, to protect his neck since he said he's been having these issues. For one, thank you, Kevin,
Thank you for
for
sure.
even man, thank you because that takes a lot. You've been competing with a broken neck, with issues with your neck. That is huge. We knew stuff like that was serious back then with Stone Cold, Steve Austin, um, broke his neck in the match against Owen Hart, where Owen pile drive him and it botched, and Steve suffered with temporary paralysis during that match, but he continued the match. The fact that Kevin Owens, and that was just one night, has been dealing with this for months, and now he's taking the time to go and get the surgery that he needs after him already having that horrendous fight with Sammy is commendable. Like, I really had to get out of my seat and give that man a standing ovation because to know that you've been dealing with this and you put your body through a match like that for the fans, that's tough. That's tough. And that's that's just I can't just thank him enough for everything that he's done. I really pray that he has a speedy recovery. Um, because I know that this is just so hard. This is 2 weeks before WrestleMania. You had a match scheduled at WrestleMania. I can't even begin to even think about how he's feeling right now. Like, what can you do? Like, what can you? That's that's really, really messed up. I hope that he comes back sooner than expected, healthy, um, and that he just has a speedy recovery, that he just goes and take care of himself. Fans could definitely be some a-holes because one fan in particular said something to Kevin Owens on his way going up the ramp, and
I don't know
he mentioned
what did he
he
say?
mentioned to
Because
Kevin he mentioned to Kevin that in order for him to recover and not he needs to lose some weight.
that's crazy.
Hit
I was wondering what the
this
dude said because like they showed Kevin
man.
talking to him and then they cut away real quick, so I knew it had
And
to
I,
be
yeah,
something.
and I saw it. I saw Kevin going back and forth with the guy. But it's like to find out that that's what was said. It's like where's the compassion? I know we're here for entertainment purposes, but right now, these superstars of this era try to make sure that we are connected with them even on a personal level, that we're involved even in things that go on in their personal life, which is why they have no problem posting their kids and their wives and their outside life because they want to feel that connection, that real connection with the fans. So for him to open up, because they weren't doing that then. They weren't doing that. You weren't going up there and announcing that you have to leave because of injury. You
Right,
just looked up and they weren't there.
right.
So for him to be able to go out there and tell the fans, thank you, but this is what I have to go do and all of that, he didn't have to, but he did. So for you to just, for that guy to say that to him when he already had to have the most heartbreaking conversation
And that's
and dealing with it, like, that's just sick.
and that's the craziest thing about wrestling fans who don't have, like you saying, that empathy, because
Hmm.
majority of them have never taken a bump at all, ever, to even say what needs to be done in order for him to be better. You need to lose weight so that you can get that to get so that your neck can be better. Like, bro, you've
Right.
never taken a bump at all. You've never been in that ring. You don't know how any of that feels. So
That's
please
what everybody
shut your ass up
Yes, everybody
because
under the comments saying that, like, dude, are you serious? And first of all, look at you. I keep standing with somebody that look, dude, you're fat. Like, I'm looking dead at him, like, how dare you, fat and bald, and you want to sit over here like some of your teeth are freaking missing. Like, slow down, Gramps. Like, how dare you kick somebody when they're down? The man is really probably trying to hold back tears, and you're going to say something like that. I know the fans and whatnot, they like to troll, but right now isn't the time. This is serious. This isn't part of a segment. He was being completely real. And to say that you're an a-hole. Like that was a total a-hole moment.
yeah, and
Yeah.
could it be true? Could it be true? Possibly. I mean, some things are avoided if you're, well developed, because we know for a fact that Brock Lesnar, when he did that shooting star press, him being built the way he was, that saved him. So yes,
Mhm.
to an extent that could be true, but that's not the time to say it, nor was it your place to say it, because again, you've never been in that damn ring. So shut your ass up.
Exactly. 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 Like when it comes down to them being in the ring, I respect any wrestler, not just WWE, even going all the way down to the indie to amateur wrestling. Any wrestler that is out there putting their body on the line, going out there in that ring, put on the show because that's their dream, that's their passion, and they live for this, and they're doing their best to succeed and be the best at it. My hat goes out to you. My hat is off, and I tip it, and it's just you get my highest honor because there's no padding in wrestling. There's no
None.
shields.
Little to
There's no
none.
helmet. There's no none of that. It's your body that you're putting on the line. So for the injuries to happen, and then for the people that are still trying to fight through the injuries to get back to the ring, that's a different type of respect. That's a different type of respect, which is why I can't stand when people who don't understand wrestling to say, you know, that's not real. Please get out of my face.
Cause it
Please get out
is.
of my.
Cause I promise
It
you,
is.
it if you want to say it's anything, it's stunt work
And
with no
predetermined.
with
You're gonna
no with no
take,
padding. It's predetermined, but it's
yeah,
stunt work with no padding. So like movies where
and
they
no
have
stunt
stunt
man.
coordinators and whatnot, there's no padding.
And no stunt man. They are.
The stunt
They're
man,
doing their own stunts. There's
right?
not a cut. Go get in some water. Go do this. They're out there putting their bodies on the line. Man. That's why I say wrestlers to me are the greatest athletes in the world. So I'm not trying to hear none of them shenanigans. But again, Kevin Owens, we wish you a speedy and quick recovery. Um, man, I hope you pull through, man, and just know that your fans are waiting on
For
you.
sure.
Go ahead and
Absolutely.
do what you got to do. Yeah.
So, with
But
that
then,
being said, after that, we had
woo!
Jacob Fatu.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we
What
didn't.
was after that?
Randy came out.
Right. That's my bad. Randy came out. Randy came out.
Mhm.
They crossed
Randy
paths.
came out and no words were said, and that's how I knew it was real because Randy could have went
Yeah,
off on him. They just looked at each other.
because
Kevin walked away.
when Randy came out, I was like, I was waiting for it to be like, you're lying. Like I was waiting for there to be, the punchline, like
Yeah,
you're lying.
yeah.
But
But I was like, let
like,
me just
nah,
look. I said,
it's
because
true.
he would have went off. Because he said every time he see him, pretty much is on site, and he didn't do anything. I'm like,
Yeah,
yes. So
and
when
then
Randy came in here and he told him, Nick Aldis let him know, I'm sorry,
you're not
Randy,
having a
but
match at WrestleMania.
you're not having a match at WrestleMania.
Wait. You're you're not having a match at WrestleMania because he's British.
And you're sick. Shout out to London. But yeah, so Randy just there's no words, big head and bam, RKO. I'm telling you, I didn't see it coming. I didn't know what was going to happen. I wasn't paying attention that he was bending over. It was just like, okay, all right, don't got a match. What's gonna go down? And like I said, seeing it in person, man, I knew this is my first time seeing Randy Orton ever. Like I've never seen him in person. Um, at the time when I was going as a kid, I went to Monday Night Raw and Randy was on SmackDown during this time. This was after he left. He wasn't in Evolution anymore, and this was when he was on his uh Legend Killer. Yeah,
Spree.
this was during his Legend Killer reign. So to see him now, the man is huge. He's already tall, but now he's jacked. And when he jumped in the air to hit the RKO, I'm just like, he's just long. Like the fact that he can jump as big as he is and hit that move the way he does, hands down,
Phenomenal.
hands down. One of the greatest things I've ever seen. This is why the RKO is one of the greatest moves in WWE history. I love to see it. It was amazing. Oh man, I lost my top. I almost dropped my phone and it almost fell down below with the like the fans that were down on the floor because I was like in the middle section. So because I was jumping up and down like, oh man, oh man, oh that was great to see. That really was. Poor Nick. Poor Nick, but Randy did, pay it off a little early. The last time he hit him with an RKO when Randy returned after his 2 years of being on, and he hit Nick with that RKO, and Nick fined him. I think it was like 500,000. No, $50,000. Randy gave him 100. He said the fine was for 50. He said, I know for next time, because Randy knew it's gonna be a time I might snap. You might piss me off, so I'm just gonna pay you in advance. And that was a year ago. So it worked out pretty well for Randy.
Yep.
But Nick, it wasn't personal. It was more so of a I'm
I'm getting my
tired of getting
frustrations out.
screwed. Yeah. And I can't take it out on the man that I want to take it out on because guess what? I'll kill him. And he has to go have surgery. So I can't
Do
like
we think
get
that
to him.
this is going to? I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that might impact Cody's match because I feel like Cody and John gonna have a thing, but I also kind of think Randy might run in because he's frustrated and try to drop somebody.
It's crazy you mentioned that because right after it, two men behind me started yelling out triple threat. And then I said, I don't want to see that.
No, I don't want
I
a
was
triple
like,
threat.
no. And he was like, yeah, but but I don't know. I'm thinking about it. It might, especially with Randy reverting back to hearing the voices in his head again and going back to that heel version of Randy. Um, I'm trying to think, would he get triggered enough and who would be doing the triggering? Um, as far as him still being Cody's friend and John being his biggest rival and him rooting for Cody to beat John, who would you go after in that? But then again, would this just be you going off the hinges and you're just spiraling? Would it be that? you know. But I hope not, just because I don't want to see Randy get involved because we know that at some point Rock has to get involved. And it just doesn't make sense for Randy to be in the mix because him and Rock, we
Right,
already got one person that we know, then we're looking forward to seeing him, like what part is he going to play. Like Rock is going to show up when we know it. I don't want to see Randy getting part of it, but then again, we never know because now WWE has been thrown a curveball. No one thought this was going to happen with Kevin
right,
because even though he had these issues, he never went to, get that final stamp from that doctor to say this is what it is and you need to have immediate surgery.
right.
So he probably thought, okay, I can still wrestle on it, get this out. No, now he knows you got to go in so get it taken care of. So I don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes I like not know. Sometimes I like to be surprised. And in this case, I really want to be surprised because it's Randy. I
Yeah,
don't I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I want to have that real reaction of being shocked, like, oh my God, I did not see this coming. Like, yeah,
yeah.
I just don't know where that's going to fall into play. But because we got to see him, we
We
got to.
do.
We haven't seen Randy at a WrestleMania in a while, so
It's
yeah,
got to be
we got to
something.
see.
So,
Mm-hmm.
okay, actually, let's go back just a little bit because I said I wanted to hold it off so that we can talk about, we have something to talk about. I don't know, come WrestleMania, even though we got 2 weeks. And honestly, we might as well go ahead and bring it up. So, let's talk about what potentially could be Naomi and
I knew you was gonna go there. I knew you was gonna hold it in.
because it's like
Might as
what are we
well.
waiting for? We already know what the
Yeah,
matches are going to be. So like I think it should be a no DQ match, not a Hell in a Cell match, because
I
that
do.
would be that'd be a horrible thing to like have to set up for them.
It'll be it'll be horrible, and I always say Hell in a Cell needs to be the final nail in the coffin. To
Yeah,
me, that's like a three. That's like the third match in the feud.
yeah.
Like that's the third installment. So we know this is still fresh, and they have yet to fight. So like you said, yeah, it needs to be that a no DQ. Start
I
off with that.
I'd rather it be a no DQ with weapons because I'm not necessarily sure because we haven't seen her fully have a match yet. We don't know if Jade has been polished yet. So having weapons and whatnot, that could be a little
Yes,
bit of a buffer for her.
yes, we did.
When?
Oz, Oz, do I gotta get you some coffee?
When? When do we see her
She just
have a full fledged match with that was like her having technical prowess, strength, all that stuff?
she just had a full fledged match since being back with Liv Morgan. She lost due to interference from distraction from
I
Raquel,
gotta
I believe.
I
And
gotta
then
watch it
Naomi
again.
came in. So that was her
I
first
remember
match.
she improved, but I'm thinking like WrestleMania, it's got to be something big. So I'm saying like if
Well,
her
it has it. Well, she just got back off of that, her
right.
being gone. So you can't think she has something big. Her versus Naomi would be her next big match.
So
So
that's
her
why
with
I'm
Liv was her first match back.
so
So
yeah,
you
like
got
we
to kind
said,
of
she was solid in the match, but I'm saying like if she needs a buffer because she hasn't been polished necessarily, because we've been saying that if she's polished, then let her go. But I'm saying like if there's a little bit of something that she ain't polished on, let her have weapons as a buffer. That's all I'm saying.
okay, okay, yeah. Well, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty.
Jacob Fatu is the number
Mm-hmm.
one contender for the United States title. As he should be, as he already should have
As
been,
you
and
should.
he should be the number one contender for the WWE Undisputed Championship and
We're
the
not going
World
that far.
Heavyweight Championship
No,
and
we're not
the
doing that.
Intercontinental
No,
Championship because
now
give
you're just
Jacob
following.
all the
No,
titles right now.
No, we're not gonna take it that far now. Let's crawl before we walk, baby. Let's crawl before we walk. But yeah, he definitely deserved it. That match, great match.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God, it had me on my feet. Jacob's presence
Please,
in
please talk
real
about, please talk
life.
about it. Please talk about it.
I'm already a fan, big fan. When he came out, it's when his music hit. I already love his music. When I tell you, I got literal chills from the fire from when he first came out, and I'm just looking at him like, man is just monstrous. But then he has this aura about him that's like, yeah, he that dude. And him, Braun, that was just amazing. Start to finish, amazing match. They both brought it. Jacob is such an athletic fit guy. To be able to do the flips and take the bumps that he does is amazing to see. And I love the fact that they were able to pan into the crowd because that was even just wild. I'm just at a loss of words for seeing him. When I tell you this was me the whole match, like I'm so glad that I was like in the first row of the section. I'm just standing there like I can't sit down. Like nobody really could sit down. We all just standing up like, look at him. Braun is great. Love him. Jacob is hungry. He's hungry. The man is literally like a freaking gorilla. Like he's unstoppable. He's unstoppable. I'm so glad he won. He deserves it 100%. That was a hell of a match. He put on a show.
Suplexes through tables, getting put through the barricade,
Suplexes.
him basically running him through the table, like
That
Samoan
moonsault was
drops, the
perfection.
starting off
I've
with the
seen
moonsault,
it.
like bro,
I've seen it happen on television a lot of times, but to see that thing, that wonderful beauty happen in person, man, it's just no words can describe it besides perfection. It was so smooth. He does it with such ease and such precision. Jacob, you that dude.
all the
You
titles
that dude.
right now.
You that dude. In time. In time. In time. No problem. In time. It's coming. In time. Oh
Okay,
man.
so after that, we had finally what the favor is. Roman was
Yes.
out
All
there.
the
Man, I want to say Seth came out after. They had the conversation. No, no, no. I think, well, is that what happened?
yeah. Pause real quick. Gonna grab my charger.
Okay.
My thing on 8%.
Okay, so like we were saying, Roman came out. Then I want to say Seth came
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
Then it
Yeah, Roman
was
came out. It didn't even acknowledge Paul
at
at
all.
all
Just
when he first
completely
got
walked
there.
past him.
First, first, before we even get to that part, all the backstage segments with Paul waiting for the tribal chiefs to arrive. First, he thought at Seth. First, he thought that the tribal chief came, and it was actually Seth Rollins. Hilarious,
Paul was a ball of nerves. That man,
man.
he ain't been this nervous since last year when Roman didn't talk to nobody and Solo took over. He ain't been that nervous since
Yes,
then.
yes, yes. Oh man, that definitely. And then, um, who was it that came back there? I'm trying to remember which um reporter interview person came back there. It was the guy. Trying to remember.
Byron?
Byron. When he was, I believe it was Byron that was talking to Paul backstage, and I guess he was asking about the favor, and then Paul looked into the camera and then told CM Punk whatever the favor is, yes, okay, yes.
Oh, that's where you
I
messed
guess
up.
he
That's where you messed
because I guess
up.
because I believe that Paul thought that it wouldn't be anything too crazy. You know what I'm saying? That it's like, okay, it's not going to be anything too crazy. He knows that I'm with, yeah, we're best friends, but he knows I'm with my tribal chief, blah, 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 all the other stuff. So Tribal Chief shows up. completely ignores Paul, goes right to the ring. He comes out. He doesn't even wait for the fireworks, none of that. Goes straight to the ring. That was the quickest I've ever seen him go to the ring. Um, he addresses Chicago. We acknowledge him, rightfully so. And then he proceeds to go ahead and ask if CM Punk is still there. Paul says yes. Is he still talking about this favor? Yes. And Roman decides to talk to Chicago for a little bit and says that he doesn't know how we put up with CM Punk. But he wants to let us in on a secret that he, in fact, is the reason why CM Punk has returned. He, in fact, is the reason why CM Punk has a WrestleMania main event match this WrestleMania coming up. Um, so for CM Punk to be out here thanking everybody else, he should be thanking the Tribal Chief. So, all right, he calls him out. Nope, here comes Seth Rollins. Of course. And I love Seth during this entire segment because Seth just sat back and just watched. I don't have anything to do with
He,
this. Seth is
he,
looking at it as if,
it's like when you have a crash out and then you find that moment of peace. He's like, no,
like,
I'm gonna let this happen.
fine. Because it's like nobody remembered that Seth was out here acting crazy last week. Matter of fact, this same week, a few days ago, crashing out on Monday. Like, we're just gonna bypass that part. But
Cause
he
he's like,
said that he's gonna
cause it feels like he was like, I know that this is about to bite you in the ass because I know you. This is about to bite you in the ass, and I'm here to witness it and laugh.
he knows that it's going to do it. He knows that how he knows Roman, but he also knows CM Punk. And I think I don't want to say his sole purpose was to go out there and pretty much laugh at it, but it was also to kind of prove everybody wrong by proving that he was right. So that whole thing is happening, and finally CM Punk comes out there. Cool. And I guess CM Punk was a little receptive by getting into the ring. And Seth's like, come and see, go ahead, come into the ring. And he comes in, and then it's words being exchanged between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. And CM Punk proceeds to tell us what this favor is. But before he tells us what this favor is, he goes back to bring up past situations that involved himself and Paul Heyman. So Paul Heyman promised him certain things about that if CM Punk was to ever main event, Paul would indeed be by his side. He went on talking about how Paul saved his career, how Paul saved him from being fired. He never left his side. He is indeed the wise man. And because he knows this, he needs that wise man in his corner come WrestleMania. We knew that this
We
was
knew that.
going
We knew it
to
was gonna
happen.
be that.
We knew that. We knew it was going to be that. Okay, cool. Of course. Just like when Brock Lesnar returned, and we knew that, he wants his advocate. He wants his, he wants that back. Um, what we did not know was the response that Paul was going to have. Because what can you say? This is your best friend, and that is your tribal chief. I didn't know how Roman was going to react initially. Initially.
Initially.
Thank you. Words with my ass real quick. Initially. But yeah, we didn't really know how Roman was going to be because Roman has so many different layers to himself that how were you going to react to this? He reacted by laughing. That's the favor. Okay. Wise man, go ahead and tell him no. Let him down gently or whatever. I know this is your best friend, but let him down. Go ahead. Paul not
I
saying
can't
nothing.
tell him no.
Well, no, before he said that. See, you
What did he
gotta build
say?
up. You
Sorry.
got to build up.
Sorry.
Lord, got my
That's my
tripod
bad.
falling down. Gee. He said that, see, now I'm all over the place. Oh, remember he kept asking him to tell him, and then Paul just wouldn't say anything. He just kept looking. And he's wondering, like, why are you not saying anything? Tell him no. And then Paul starts to cry. And then he's like, you crying? Wipe them tears and tell him no. Like, I saved you. I made you relevant. I brought you onto the island of relevancy. You my tribe. Yo, tribal chief, you my wise man. Like, what you doing? Like, it shouldn't be that hard. Say what you need to say. And that's what he told him that he could not tell him no. That was the first time I ever heard Paul Heyman in 5 years tell Roman Reigns no. The last time we heard Paul say no to a tribal chief was when he said no to acknowledging Solo. So for him to tell Roman no, it's like, what power does Roman have now? Because if your wise man isn't even listening to you now, it's like, well, who's in control here? Like, he owes more to Punk than he does to you. Where's the loyalty? And it's so crazy because who, in fact, came out there and started preaching about loyalty? That's how the segment started. Roman Reigns started talking about loyalty. CM Punk later spoke about it, but Seth Rollins came out and started speaking about loyalty. Roman Reigns told Seth Rollins that's one thing that he doesn't know anything about is loyalty. So it was like all of that. If you listen to everything they were saying, it kept panning to loyalty into history. Everything Seth Rollins said is true. I'm sorry. CM Punk, I do love you. And just like Roman said, it's kind of like, oh, he's from our city, so we have to love him. But I have to laugh at it like, I do like CM Punk a lot. I'm glad that he's back. I think that he's a wonderful competitor. He's done a lot for the wrestling business. It's as a whole. Um, but this whole feuding going on, my money is still going to always and forever be on the Tribal Chief. Um, I didn't know what to expect from that, and after watching it a couple of times after, I saw that even after he said no, and he was backing Paul into the corner, he takes off Paul's handkerchief and he starts to wipe his tears. It wasn't even I'm about to attack you. It wasn't even that. Like I thought it was that at first, like he about to lay hands on Paul Heyman, but he didn't even do that. He literally just he took it out. I'm like, wiping his tears until CM Punk attacked him. And Seth Rollins is cracking up in the corner, which made it even more funny because he told him, I told you, I told you. This is why I wanted to get rid of him. Because even though you and I have our beef, now he's screwing up everything. And now he just screwed you in the worst way. Now you have to go out there alone. Excuse me. I had to pin back to the history that is Paul Heyman. And I think that this right now, especially old fans, and I don't call us old, but fans that have been around since we were kids, um, look at Paul as a national treasure. He's the wise man.
Absolutely.
Man, we really enjoy every segment with him because ain't no telling when Paul is going to retire, but the fact that we were there for this and there for that. So we're enjoying these moments that we're having. However, we got to remember who the hell Paul Heyman is and what Paul Heyman does. And Paul Heyman definitely has a history of turning on those that he advocates for. And he's done it to Brock Lesnar. This was the year 2000. I believe this was 2003, if I am not mistaken. SummerSlam 2003. If it was not SummerSlam, it was Survivor Series, but I truly believe that it was SummerSlam. But it was a match against Brock Lesnar, who was the champ at the time, WWE Undisputed Champion, against the Big Show. And this is when Big Show was at his most dominant era. This is when Big Show was really the Big Show. Like Big Show wasn't coming out there and tight. That man had on black pants, a black tank top, and he was on business. And he was scary and he was harmful. So all Paul Heyman kept saying to Brock Lesnar during the whole entire feud, you can't beat the Big Show. You can't beat the Big Show. So that's all he was hearing. But then Brock Lesnar kind of proved him wrong when he was able to pick up Big Show and get him with an F5. So at this time, um, referee was knocked out. Brock Lesnar picks him up, F5's the Big Show. Everybody's in shock, including Paul Heyman, who was with Brock Lesnar at the time. Referee, everyone's looking. Where's the ref? Because Brock Lesnar is covering Big Show. Referee comes running down the aisle. Referee Charles Robinson, if I'm not mistaken. And he's hitting the 1-2. Paul Heyman pulls him out before he can hit the three. Everyone is confused. Why, if this is your person, did you just screw him? We knew then Paul will screw you over. He did it then. So when CM Punk brought up on Friday that him, Paul Heyman, and the Big Show were on the bus when Paul told him that he was going to be with CM Punk the day that he debuts, it really was a nostalgia moment, really like a flashback. Like, wow. And this is the person that okay, all right, makes sense. It's crazy. I like when it pans back when it's like, huh, it's crazy that you guys are on the same bus with the person that he screwed Brock Lesnar. Okay, all right, but I don't know. It's like if he's going to be in his corner at WrestleMania, what does that mean for the lead up?
So
Because he didn't leave
the
he
way
stayed in the ring.
the way I'm thinking of it is from what I from what I know, what I remember of Roman's whole rise and watching his mini documentary.
Hmm.
The whole gimmick or the whole idea behind Roman becoming the tribal chief is I need acknowledgement. For years, all of you booed me for all the work I put in. Y'all would not love
Hmm.
me for any reason whatsoever.
Hmm.
So he finally gets Paul Heyman, who basically is his personal cheerleader.
Hmm.
At this point, Roman has nobody. You can say he has the Usos, but they have their own thing right now because Jay has to fight
Yeah.
Gunther. Jimmy, he ain't out of commission, but he beat up and he probably gonna be dealing with Jay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solo definitely don't rock with him. Jacob don't rock with him. Tama Tonga don't rock with him, and Tonga Loa ain't even there. Um, so he's literally by himself. He has no real cheerleader. I mean, you have the people, but they can't really do much. So he's
This is
literally by
exactly.
himself for the first time.
Yes.
And he
Yes.
has to be like, I gotta be my own cheerleader. I gotta get this
Yeah.
done so I can have my guy back. And if Paul screws him, that's going to be more wild because remember how we called it last time when Roman came back after Solo had went his you know had went crazy and went rogue and was like beating up Paul and stuff, and then Paul showed back up but he was dressed like Solo, and everybody was like, oh, he gonna turn on Roman. I think this is when he turns on Roman.
I would hate to see it. I'm not gonna lie, that would definitely fuck mess. Had to pull a solo. Best. Oh man. Best my head up if that was to happen. Just because because I think about what Roman Reigns said. There is no tribe. If you don't see the wise man, you won't see the tribal chief. There is no wise man without tribal chief. There is no tribal chief without the wise man. So I totally understood the whole, concept behind that. But again, I pan back to what I mentioned earlier as far as flashbacks go. When that happened, when Paul did that to Brock Lesnar, Brock had to rely on just the fans because you didn't make too many friends back there because of who you were and you walked around all big headed. So you were by yourself. But then eventually he did. You saw him interacting, and it was crazy because like it's Brock Lesnar. But he started interacting and goofing around with people in the back. He started, growing relationships or whatever, but he was by himself. Um, it's going to be weird to see Roman by himself. Just like you said or whatnot, it's not like the Usos could do anything. Jay is going to become the world heavyweight champion. He can't come and help him. Jimmy is, focusing and helping out his brother. And then after that, he has his own path, to go down. So this is pretty much going to be exactly like it was when Roman first left the Shield. Him being alone, trying to figure some stuff out. And I believe that they think that Roman now has, since he has the fans behind him and has that traction and that rapport with the fans, he can handle it. Because before fans weren't rocking with him, and they was letting it be known we don't mess with you. So it was a lot of boo, all of that stuff. But now everybody acknowledges him. So I think that this would be the perfect time for it if that's what they're planning to do. I think that he will be okay. He's in his rock mode as far as being over with the fans. They're chanting for him, OTC, everywhere he goes. So I think that he will be okay. It will just be weird to see because it's like, where's your wise man? But I believe that over the years, Roman has gotten pretty wise himself, and he probably doesn't need a wise man. Um, I don't know as far as the build up is going to go because Paul did not leave the ring with CM Punk after CM Punk hit the GTS on Roman. He stayed in the ring with Roman, so it's like, are you just showing up for this one night? Is this a permanent thing? Like, what is this? I understand that you made a promise and that was the favor, but at the same time, Roman is looking at it like we're supposed to be family. You're supposed to have my back no matter what. So I don't know. I understand, you talk about some old promises, forget all of that. But I said this, I'm going to keep saying it. Seth and Roman are going to come together. They're going to come together to try to take out CM Punk. Now we got a common enemy. He just took something from you. I've been trying to get him out for a minute. I keep telling you that, Roman. But just like Seth said, that's why Roman's face got to pay attention to all of that. When they had the contract signing, and Seth told him, this is why I wanted him out the way. He was giving Roman his props as far as, look, we did this. We built this company. We did this. And that's a Roman, I did this. I did all of this. And he was telling him, if you would have just let me handle him, we wouldn't be dealing with this problem. But because you didn't, I got to clean up your mess anyway. And you don't even see it, which is why he was crashing out because you don't even see what he's doing. But now, that's why he said, I told you. Now you see he just took your wise man, and now you're going to be by yourself. So I believe that for one night, they will team up. They still have to, they just
They
want to get
still
him out
gotta.
the way. They already got their own issues, but they want to make sure, get this fool out the ring first. Get him out the way, and we can focus on each other. But it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It is coming. Man, if this ain't the most anticipated match I've been anticipated for, that has nothing to do with the
Honestly,
title. Man, I'm going to be
out of
at the
this
edge of
past year that I've been back, this is the most anticipated. Well, yeah, I want this. I want to see what the events, what the results are, even more than what it was going to be with Cody and Roman. I want to see this and see what happens more than I want to see anything else, including John Cena and Cody. I want to see what happens with this.
you are so lucky because you're going to be able to see this live. You're going to be able to witness it because it's going to be the main event of night one. So you're lucky that you're able to just be in the same building where this is going to take place because I just know it's going to be some twists and turns. It's going to be some OMG, some emotional moments, some anticipating some, man, they're going to bring it all. They're going to bring it all. I cannot wait to see it. 2 weeks away. Damn.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be so good.
Oh, it really, really is. When I tell you being there, I just screamed for one when I acknowledged him. First time ever seeing Roman Reigns as well. It's nothing like seeing that man in person. His aura is impeccable as well as Seth and CM Punk. But I've seen them. But Roman, talk about crowd control. When I tell you there was not one person sitting down when that man came out, I looked around from pillar to post, and everybody, child included, is on their feet to acknowledge this man, but to know what he's come from as far as people just not accepting him and booing him and all the hatred that he faced, and to now have everybody on key singing his tune, praising him, just chanting for him, OTC, and now with the overtaking the same chant they are from over Europe, overseas, and Roman Reigns. We were singing that too. Like Roman is a once in a lifetime superstar. I'll be the one to say that he definitely is. I love to see it. He's amazing to see. Even when he's down, you still like, but I know he ain't out. So what's next? When he got up, he just was walking out, and Paul was walking further behind him. Everybody just looking like, dang man, like what's gonna happen next? Like I don't want it to end.
Yep.
Like, oh man, that was just great, great, great. And of course they gave us dark matches afterwards, which was cool. Um, Mr. Pied Piper showed up and came out there. Um, and just like John Cena said, like clockwork, I sang his song. I'm sorry, John.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I really am. I couldn't help it. It's kind of like a twitch, a nervous tick. I just can't help but sing it when he come out. I got a whoa every time. I'm sorry. It's just it happens. Because when he was fighting and they were saying Cody Rhodes, I was saying F you Cody Rhodes. So clearly I'm not behind him, John. I just had to sing the song because I had to. But yeah, he had a match against Solo. Great match. Solo, funny. He had me cracking up. He was doing some funny stuff that night. Uh, one thing I do want to say, I guess off the record, Cody he's a decent champion. He literally went around and was signing autographs to everybody that was like first row, but he even went to the people that were in higher up sections. Because I was in like the middle row, but on the side of where the entrance is. He even came all the way over there, grabbing people's phones to try to take selfies, telling people to send down their signs so he can sign them. Um, because they just kept cheering for him. And security kept was like, "Come on, we gotta go." And he was like, "Okay, just give me a minute." Like he was still just trying to make sure that everybody got the experience that they wanted, making sure that he sees everybody. And that was really cool of him. It was a girl's birthday that day, and he gave her his weight belt. He came out there. She was afraid to get in the ring. He wanted her to. He came out to the crowd to come and see her. So it was pretty cool. But the show was nothing short of amazing. They never disappoint. Um, I went to the concessions, well, not concessions, but merchandise station. And when I went over there, the line was really long. I had looked and saw that they had their t-shirts, and I said, y'all got to be kidding. I'm not paying that much money for no shirt. So I just went to the bathroom, and took some selfies. And when I came out, the line was like all the way down. There's only four people. So I just went to see what stuff they had. And I'm just looking up, and they had some cool little stuff. And I get to chatting with one of the guys behind the stand. And he asked if I wanted anything, and I said no. And um, we were just talking about the show, and then ended up telling him about our podcast. And he ended up giving me a bloodline dog tire. Everybody could see that. Yes. And it was really cool. And I said, "Oh man, like it's two." Um, and then he said, "Oh no, it's just two on one chain." I said, "Well, I could just buy this chain. I'll give one to my partner." And he proceeds to take another one, and he gives me both. And I'm like, "I can have both."
So yeah, I
And
gotta
he just
figure out
winked
a
at
time to
me.
come get that.
Yes, you do. He just winked at me and said, enjoy y'all show. Do your thing." And I thought that was really cool of him. So shout out to Dan, the merchandise man, for these very cool dog tags. They're heavy. They're heavy, but these are really cool. I will cherish them forever. And the fact that they're bloodline makes them even better because always with the bloodline. Yes, yes.
Okay. So,
Acknowledge.
you got anything else?
Hmm. I don't know the next time we're going to see John. Might be just at WrestleMania. I really hope that he makes some type of appearance somewhere. Um, I'm very, very excited about this build up, regardless of what the critics are saying, about what the blogs are saying about this WrestleMania. I think this is going to be one hell of a WrestleMania. Um, I think they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. We're at where we're supposed to be at right now, with 2 weeks now coming into what not
Yeah.
this weekend. This is the weekend after.
Weekend after.
Yep. Um, I'm definitely getting excited for it. And I don't really have any complaints. Like I said, I feel like we're at where we're supposed to be at.
Yeah, everybody for the most
Now it's
part
just every.
has gotten their storyline to the point where it's
Yep,
like, okay, this is solidified. This is where it needs to be.
yep.
Because honestly, these last couple of weeks, like we said, it was going to be a slog. They was going to have to work to make
Mhm.
all of this work because they had 7 weeks to get all of this over, and for
Yeah,
the most part, they've done it.
yeah. And this week is going to like solidify some more matches that are still to come. I believe tomorrow night it's going to be a gauntlet match with the women's tag team division to see who's going to be the number one contender for Liv and Raquel's tag team championships at WrestleMania. I love the fact that Triple H is definitely making sure everybody has a match. Everybody is having a moment. Nobody is going unnoticed or unseen. Um, and that's great. Even people that aren't even in title matches are going to be showcased. So I think I love it when they continue to top each other. Like they continue to top, like one WrestleMania after the other. 39 was great. Didn't think you could top 39. But then 40 happened, and 40 was huge. And it was like, ain't nobody topping 40 with everything that happened. And now this, keep doing their thing. Right now, we have said this multiple times. Right now is the best time to be a wrestling fan because, as The Rock said, wrestling is cool again. It's becoming like the hottest thing again, and everybody should get right back into it. Um, Now, especially with WrestleMania being on the horizon, go ahead and hop back into it, like before it's too late. Like it's never too late, but you don't want to miss out on too much. Um,
Because you can always
yeah.
catch back up, but you want to see it, but you want to see it live, or at least
You wanna
in motion.
you wanna see it live. Yeah, you wanna see it in motion. You at least wanna see some type of build up before the actual matches happen. So right now will be the best time because you at least got 2 weeks to see what feuds and what storylines taking place before the event happens. So yeah, I know you're getting ready. I know you are getting ready. You are
I cannot wait.
oh, you're so lucky.
I cannot wait.
I've been
I'm gonna
putting
be
out.
there the first night. Then the second night, I'm probably be
Mhm.
watching it from home. Obviously I'm gonna be watching it from home, but yeah. So I'm
Wait, are you gonna be home or are you gonna be there still?
no, I'm gonna be home because we fly back that morning on Sunday.
Okay. Okay.
So I was gonna talk to you about that
Man.
because potentially I don't think we can go live yet, but we could at least maybe do a live episode together in the same place to watch WrestleMania or
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool to do. Because I was just thinking, like, man, how are we gonna do that? And I know that's night two. Like, what's gonna happen that night? I already told people, please do not disturb me. That's gonna be one busy weekend. Not only is WrestleMania weekend, it's 420 weekend, and then it's Easter Sunday. Hmm.
yeah.
Lots of
So
things going on. I cannot wait. I hope y'all are ready. Continue to like, share, and subscribe to us. Please do.
lights,
Please do. You
camera,
don't want to miss
wrestling,
out.
LCW
Yes.
Pod on Instagram. Everywhere else is lights, camera, wrestling. Follow us. Please make sure we get followers, likes, shares, comments.
Because we've been cooking lately. We've
We
been
have.
cooking lately.
And this is our
We
longest
really have.
episode. We giving
I'm
y'all
proud of
2 hours. Who else
I'm
gives y'all
proud of
two
us.
hours and 30 minutes worth of episode? Come on.
What? Come on now. Come on now.
So with that being said, I've been Oz the Alchemist,
And it's your girl, Lola Love.
and we'll see y'all later.